Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Boy, oh boy. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? It's your boy Shagsworth. And it's just such a bad camera. I don't know what the deal is. Let's see if we can get my other camera working. Is it even available? It's not even available. It's awful. Tim Hayes is here. What's going on, Tim? Weasel's in the chat. We love to see you, Weasel. What's going on, man? What's going on? Where's Jesse, Brahman, and Raiken? They'll be along in a bit. You know what I liked? I liked the couple weeks ago sitting down and just doing my own thing, monologuing for a little bit, and just chatting. And maybe it's something I should have done all the way through, but as we come to the end of it all, right? As we come to the end is nigh. I think these are the times maybe it's good to just let things off my chest and just talk freely. Tim Hayes says, "You're America's Beard, so Beardo doesn't get that title." No. Beardo is America's T. I'm America's Beard. It's just how it goes. I don't make the rules. That's just how it goes. I hate this camera and it just makes everything look awful. But that's just kind of what we got to do this week. E. Clay Thompson, what's going on? He says, yo, 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 yo. I can't do that fast enough. Yo, 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 yo. Things off your chest, it doesn't sound good. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's put it that way. I want to like this show comments on stage thing. It's just too damn small. It's just too damn small. Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We got some cool stuff to talk about this week, I guess. There's some stuff here and there that we'll get into. And if for some reason I disappear because it's because the internet's bad, then it is what it is. I always forget how to fix my camera though. Let me see. Can we mess with this thing? Hold on. Hold it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Camera? Mirror camera? No, we don't want to mirror it. I touch up my... I don't even know. Looks more natural with this camera. Some pics of you make your skin look more yellowish. Ooh, yeah. I'm usually... the thing is I'm... There. I think it's just the too bright a light. I'm fair... My complexion's like... kind of dark. Like I have a darker like pigments. Wouldn't call myself a brown individual, but at all. But I definitely have olive skin. This is probably the more natural look right here for sure. So what do we got? What are we thinking this week? There's not a whole lot to get off my chest other than to say, uh, you guys are great. The community is amazing. Thank you for all the support over the. So you're white, not Mexican. That's true. I am not Mexican. I am white. I am Caucasian as I have to my white or Caucasian. You know. Throughout the years, you guys have been ultra gracious to me, to everyone on the show, and meeting a lot of you in person has been a real pleasure. We're down to like the final 3 episodes. Right? We have this week, next week, and the week after. June 18th is the final episode of this show forever and ever, or until one day, however many years from now, I'm able to find a time to do it. But for those who don't know and who are now like hearing this, is that I'm in about 4 weeks. I'm moving to in 20 days ish, 22 days. I'm moving to Hawaii. Accepted a job out there for being an assistant manager at a high end restaurant I used to work at, and so I'm going home, and I'm really looking forward to it. But it does cause that I just can't do the show anymore because the time change is too extreme. It's 4 hours. So it would be, sorry, it's 4 hours? Yeah, 4 hour time difference. So right now it is 4:45. Sorry, I can't even. Yeah, 4:45 in Hawaii right now. 4:45 in Hawaii. So, and that would be like in the middle of my work day. So I can't, not in the middle, but kind of in the beginning of my workday. So not really possible to do this show unless I can find some way to break the space-time continuum. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. I've obviously, and over the past week or so, or this past weekend, I ruffled some feathers in regards to a tweet I made, quote tweeting someone else about, people's demonetization. You know, people may think it's harsh. People may think that, because I didn't call the person out directly and subtweet it or whatever, that it's cowardice and all that. I want people to understand that, like, I don't owe you any sort of explanation. I don't owe you an engagement. And that is, I'll tell you, that's oftentimes what people want, is they want the engagement. Oh, hey, why didn't you engage with me? I can't monetize this as well. And I will not feed into that. I've done it a lot recently. Done it with people that I know are knowingly like just trying to get a rise out of others, rage baiting. And so we talked about this a lot on Monday. I sat out on my porch and I talked about this. But I want you to know that throughout this journey has been difficult because what I learned was that I needed to in some ways push people away in the hopes that they could really fight the culture war. That to me, the real solution or the real battles to be fought are not on the internet. They are in the real world. They are in your community. It is not to say that you can't learn something or perhaps influence a couple of people, but I don't think that we are going to win anything. The winnings will be had through you creating something special. And not just you, many people need a return to creating something authentic from the heart for not everyone, but like without agenda. we used to be able to do that. People used to be able to do that, and we've strayed so far from it now, because all it's about is checking a box, owning the other side, and not truly understanding how to like get that message out. People are so locked in to the fake engagement of social media that they forget like what is like right behind them. You know, like I'm already excited to, I mean, being in Hawaii is great, but like I'm already excited to like not have my PC. What's up, Scott? Shags will never be forgotten. I appreciate that. What's up, Static? The I'm so excited to like sort of disappear. You know, I'm really, really pumped to show and lead by example that you don't need this. These four walls right here, unneeded. The ones behind me and the people within them, that's what you need. And people are forgetting that. But I want people to create things. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, Forte. Jay Forte. Good to see you, man. I want people to create the next great novel, the next great movie. These fucking YouTube channels that all they do is engage in rage bait. Your time is ticking and it's uninteresting. It's uninteresting. You're wasting time. In the short term, you scored. You are on it. You scored and you did a great job and people will remember it. You know who's not going to remember it? Your family. And people will say, "Oh, well, I don't care. I don't want that." Fine. But I'll tell you, there'll come a time, you don't really know when, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when you're sitting alone in your room and you don't have kids and you don't have a wife or you don't have, you know, people near you, near or close to you, and you shut them all out, or you didn't build those relationships when you could because there were some YouTube dollars that you needed to fucking mop up real quick. And I almost learned that too fast. My wife's a saint for putting up with me as long as she did with bullshit, you know. But I love my family, I love my kids, and I'll tell you, there's nothing better than being engaged with them and being a part of their lives. That said, there's always stuff to have fun and bitch about, right? Life's about balance. So before any of you fucking mouth breathers out there clip me out of context and say, "Oh, this guy's he can't fucking, oh, I can't make videos about Alyssa Mercante again and monetize that hoe." No, do whatever you want. Talk with all your friends. Say all the most derogatory shit you possibly can, and then bitch, and then moan constantly. Do it. Have a balance, right? Have a balance. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll go a step further. And before you take it personally and clutch your pearls and think that like I'm just making fun of you and like, oh, Shag's such a hypocrite, he's so bad. Calm down. Calm down. Most of these people I like all of you guys. I really do. But some of you guys are boring and and sometimes little criticism. People have been critical of me. And you know what it made me do? It made me quiet down a little bit and look inward. And then I made changes. But I didn't let it like destroy who I was and oh no. Just finished your video on Alyssa Mercante. I swear, if I hear her name one more time, like you guys are falling for the trap. My analogy was this. If you want to put out a fire, stop fanning the flames. You take all the oxygen out of the room, right? That's what you do. You want someone to go away because they're insufferable and annoying, or you want a game dev to suffer and go away. Don't buy their product. Take the oxygen out of the room, because then the fire gets snuffed out. Simple. But the more you talk about someone, however profitable it may be, that fire will get too big and too out of control. And that's when you start seeing, and it's not even just that. You fan the flames too much, you'll get burned. In anything. You start to lean too hard and heavy into something, you're going to get burned. People get demonetized. You get burned. You get burnt out. Whatever it is, you lose steam. Bottom line, man. Don't feed the trolls. Yeah. I mean, again, these are all things I learned, man. Like, oh, why is Shag talking about this? Why, who is he? Like, I made mistakes. So what am I trying to do? Trying to offer advice for people who are just starting out and thinking that A, this is easy, and B, that this is the way to go. I think there is an ungodly level of unhappiness in the YouTube sphere. A lot of you can avoid this. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there because my connection kind of went away. I don't want to see people go down like a dark path. Let's put it that way. This line of work, as it were, is not for the faint of heart. This definitely takes a certain kind of person. I am likely not that kind of person, and that's fine. My only envy, and I said this on Monday, my only envy is people who are able to talk about the same thing over and over again and not get burnt out. That I might be a little envious there. I do not envy the mass consumption of negativity. That is like, holy shit, that hurts. Because not everything is bad. I said recently that I've since I started turning away from a lot of the culture war content, it wasn't to hurt anyone. It was to actually enrich my own mind so I could actually get back to enjoying things again. I could actually sit and try and enjoy a video game without having first seen all the negative parts of it, or even a movie, going to a movie, not watched a drinker video yet, and then checking everything out after the fact, because it's just a different perspective. When you consume that negative energy first and then go and do something, all you're doing is looking at the negative side. Whereas if you go in with a mind that's somewhat fresh or even somewhat positive, you start picking out things that you can enjoy. Because not everything needs to be scrutinized down to the most minute detail. Most people don't have the time to do that. Most people aren't going into a movie being like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to watch all these episodes of X, Y, and Z. Or I'm going to go watch all these movies and then I'm going to make sure I dissect them and look at the backstory of all these characters, and then I'll be able to enjoy this. I mean, some people do that, not the majority. Majority of people just go in to enjoy it. A new movie comes out, they just want to go and sit and watch it. There's people out there who will dissect that stuff and bring it out to people, but that's not the everyday viewer. And in the games, same thing. People generally want good story, good mechanics in the game. They're not looking at the pronoun shit. They're not looking at the body type shit. They're just sitting down and enjoying the game. Does it play well? I don't know. It's not till like you have like 30 fucking people bombarding you on your timeline saying, "Oh my God, you need to do this. We need to stop helping people and stop giving these people money." And everyone's like, "Why? I enjoyed it." I mean, this is where people get to be like Tim Pool, right? Where it's like, "Oh, civil war, civil war, civil war." It's like, dude, calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. You've been talking about civil war for the past 6 years. Nothing happened. Everyone's fine. No one's going to war. People are mad at each other. Like, chill. And same thing with everyone like in the YouTube space. Just chill out. Go watch a movie. Let the people whose job it is to like dissect it, do it. You just go watch the movie. Shut the fuck up. Put your channel on hold. You don't need to do the same fucking thing. That's what I would like. I mean, again, guilty as charged. Like, people don't need 10, and you don't need to be following 10 different channels saying the same thing to you because you will believe it. You will believe it. You will actively not care. You will actively hate everything because all these other people told you so. Brainwash, echo chamber. Everyone that I've met on YouTube has told me, "Oh, I love not being in an echo chamber." But the minute I say Alien Romulus is good, "Oh, what are you fucking talking about? Oh, ooh." Not one of you could like sit. There's so few people who could sit and be like, "Oh, that was good. This part was good, and this was good." Nope. Every single person just fucking losing their shit about like Alien Romulus being good, Prey being good. Nope. We gotta take a big runny dump on everything. And I'll be honest. I'm sick of complaining about everything that might have a woman in it. I'll be perfectly honest. Is some of the stuff bad that has, women leads? Sure. I'm sick of just complaining that just because someone, it's boring. Never saw the movie, sir. Don't care about it after the second film in the series. Mr. Tro, again, that's totally your prerogative. That's fine. That is totally fine. I mean, and everyone, again, everyone has a reason to see or not to see a movie. I just got here. What's he complaining about now? Nobody likes me. What I've come to enjoy, I've really come to enjoy people who like, so I follow this one account on TikTok and he ties together like all of like the Alien series, and he talks about how Alien and like Alien and Predator and Blade Runner are all tied in like the same universe. And like the JJ Abrams stuff, and like the one thing that JJ Abrams does is he like ties all of his universes together, like all the Cloverfield stuff, and like there's like even his Star Trek stuff is linked to Cloverfield. And what was the other one that was I just posted this video on my feed, and it's so good. Like that's the kind of shit that I like seeing now, because like this is a guy who like wants to have fun and is like enjoying cinema, however loose they're tied. Like, hey, look all this little stuff he slips in there. Yeah, man, I love the alien lore. And here's why I'm not worrying about the culture war shit. Here's why. There's nothing that anyone can do. The only advice you need as far as the culture war goes is that you need to lead by example in your life. Wherever it takes you, lead by example. When you think no one's looking, do the right thing. When people are looking, do the right thing. If you have kids, do the right thing in front of them. The YouTube stuff, as far as the culture war goes, again, in my opinion, is largely performative for a lot of people. It's a lot of people saying one thing, doing another. There is, I mean, you can do both, obviously. Obviously, you can use your YouTube channel to spend a lot of time talking about all these things. But the real difference, most of the audience, you are doing yourself a disservice by watching 10 of the same channels say 10 of the same things when you could, like, again, the only advice you need is that at the end of the day, you need to do right by yourself, do right by your family, do right by your community. Learn how to balance things that you love, things that you need to do. And that's sort of it. I do not feel attacked. I know how to like stuff. No, you don't. I complimented the visuals on the Fantastic Four trailer. Only a good thing about it. Yeah, I watched the trailer. It was meh. It was whatever. I don't love that Sue Storm lady. I don't know what it is about her. She, like, her face makes me uncomfortable. What did I want to say? She's not a great Sue, and her accent slips a lot. Oh, does it? What's up, Ken B? Yeah, I mean, I want Nick Cage and Spider Noir. Yeah, the trailer for Spider Noir looked really good. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna open up TikTok on my computer because there's a couple things I saved that I wanted to just show. Everything's so loud on here, though. I don't want that thing. Let me see. Where's my profile? My favorites. Was it? No, not TikTok. All right, that's it. I'm doing a whole. Okay, what we're going to do a whole episode where I just am on with TikTokers. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck you guys. Game over. Game over. Let me see. This, okay, I'll show this because I saw this and, well, maybe I'll save it. I'll just keep this up. Was there some things in here? There's a couple of things. Let me see. Liked. I'll just keep it under favorites for now. I had someone recognize my Path of Exile shirt today. I was bringing my kid to drum lessons. He was a fucking prodigy, by the way. A prodigy. We're waiting for you, Garrett. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you, man. I was just monologuing, is all. Jesse's in the back. I was thinking and I needed my venting time. Yeah, it's the last couple episodes, and I feel, I've never really done the monologue thing, but I thought, you know what? Just getting it out there, airing out the grievances. You guys can hop in now. I'm done. I'm done now. Come on in, Brahma. What's up, Madhouse? Good to see you. See, Emperor Doomsday is here.
Best part is I can bring in myself.
Where's Emperor Doomsday is here.
Yeah.
What's up, man? In Madhouse. Good to see you, Madhouse. I am it's funny. It's not that I'm lazy. I'm done with on streaming and with Rumble right now. I'm not putting any energy into it. Yeah, sorry, Madhouse. I don't know what it is. I just don't care, I guess is what it comes down to. I don't care about, they just seem to flub everything, and I don't believe their statistics. I think all their priorities are out of whack, and everyone's always like, go, yeah, Rumble Studio, it's awesome, and they're doing great in gaming. And then I see all these things in people's timelines about how Rumble Studio doesn't work, and I had to cut my stream short, blah blah. And I'm like, this sucks, dude. You need to fix your platform, this platform that you're pushing to everybody. For gaming and for podcasting, Rumble Studio, that's your thing. You should be working 24 hours a day. Get more tech people if you need. So, I don't know. I'm done for a while. I don't really care to. I don't know. I know the answer is support them and have your backup, but I don't know. Their shit's so out of whack. I'm good. I'm good for now. How are you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing fabulous. Other than my voice is completely and totally shot, but that's because I got sick yesterday or Monday. But other than that, no, we just crossed 2K on the new YouTube channel. So halfway back to the 4K we were at before we got nuked. So hell yeah, praise be to the Lord for that one. So yeah, had a great stream. Sunday night was a little short on a couple of bills, and the chat came in freaking clutch and covered everything. And yeah, it's one of them situations where I talked about it today. I talked about it on my stream today earlier. Got rated by a couple of folks, and it's one of those things. It's by every logical statistic that anybody tells you, there's no reason whatsoever, there's any way in shape in hell that I should be able to do this full time, right? It just makes no sense. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. But I told everybody today, I'm a literal living testimony to the fact that if you believe, the Lord always provides, because he's blessed me with the best people in the world in my chat, that if I need something, if my family needs something, they show up and they take care of me and mine. And it's just it boggles my mind. Just paid rent. You know what I mean? It's on time. You know what I mean? It's just boggles my mind every freaking time, dude. Boggles my mind every time. So yeah, other than, I'm nursing a chicken back to health right now. She got a little overheated last Thursday, so I've had her in the house for about a week now, trying to nurse her back to health. But dumbass was roosting. She got into one of her moods where she was roosting, so she was hiding in the chicken coop and not coming out and eating and drinking like she should. And then all of a sudden it went from stormy to freaking 95 degrees outside, and yeah. So, but she's yeah, it was not a good time. I had to stick her in the bat. She was laying on the back porch, was there just her head laying on the concrete trying to stay cool. So I brought her in, put her. Yeah, dude, it was bad. So I brought her in, put her in the bathtub. And it's so hot outside, the water ain't cold. So I grab all the ice packs out of the freezer and I throw them in the tub, and I'm spinning them around, and was freaking, I had a little medicine dropper for the kids, and I was giving her Pedialyte, and she was fortunately enough, she was taking the Pedialyte. And then started giving her water, and then just Pedialyte every 4 hours, and yeah, so she's up and moving around. I was worried, dude, because we lost one like a year and a half ago. She just had a stroke. She just started stroking out randomly. It was fucking wild. Brought her in the house, tried giving her some medicine, and woke up the next morning and she wasn't with us anymore. And so this one, I was like, Lord, please let me save this one. I don't need to lose a freaking another one. Damn. You know what I mean? So yeah. So fortunately enough, she's doing good. She's still laying on the bed. We got her some nice cold tomatoes, some cold watermelon that we've been keeping in the fridge, so she can eat that whenever she's feeling up to it. So yeah. But glad she's doing. But other than that, yeah, like I said, good days, good things. Good things are going on. Good things are going on. There's lots of good stuff to be excited for out there too. There's a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. You know, my wife's super excited about Wednesday. Like I said in the chat, there's this really good new anime series that I just found randomly that was suggested by Prime Video. That was a country bumpkin becomes a master swordsman. And it's like this guy who's run like this country, but he's out, he's a bumpkin out in the middle of nowhere. And his dad was a sword teacher, and he took over the dojo for his dad. And he's just been out in the country, like, teaching all of these new generations. And they go off to become these incredible swordsmen. He doesn't know. He's just like, I'm just out in the country doing my thing, teaching kids how to defend themselves. Because guess what? The army ain't out here. They're not going to save us. They're not going to be able to show up and help us. We've got to be able to defend ourselves. And then, yeah, next thing you know, he ends up getting dragged to the city, and now he's like this, it shows off his skills, and it's cool because he's so humble the entire way through it. He's just like, man, he's like, I'm a nobody. I'm just a cunt, I'm just like, everybody is so much better than me. I just teach them the basics, and they go on to become amazing. And, of course, he ends up being a total badass, of course.
Right.
But speaking of complete and total badasses, what's up, Brahma?
There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Your mic sounds weird. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. It sounds like we're picking up a different one other than yours, maybe.
What, Brahma?
Oh, there it is.
The only one I got.
It was just far away.
It was just too far away from his mouth. I was say that sounds right.
This is you with your voice busted, Jesse?
Yeah, this was me with my. Well, it's not. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm gonna end up sounding like Alex Jones by the end of this. I swear. Like, I'm like, turn the freaking frogs. Okay, I'm just gonna sound like that all the time. Exactly, Drow. Exactly. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's into it. It's good. It's good shit. There's good stuff out there.
I saw up top. Sorry, Garrett. I didn't say. He said, "Wait, last couple episodes." Yeah. Well, I thought you knew, but I accepted a job in Hawaii. Yeah. So I'll be going home, as it were, to manage a restaurant out there, and so some developing news. And if I don't often do this, but the severity of it would, I guess, warrant this particular request if it's possible. So I just learned about 3 days ago, I cannot ship my car.
Take your car,
to Hawaii. They are currently the two vessels that currently run to and fro. One is in China currently being retrofitted with a natural gas engine, and the other is being repaired. So they're not resuming anything until I think late July, and so the next available time for me to get a car would be end of August. So if you're at all looking to help support me, and this would be the time, obviously, I do need to get a new car when I get there. I am going to be able to sell my car here, so I'll use part of that, and then I'll need to use a little bit extra because the market is inflated out there a touch with cars. So it is what it is.
And if you can, or are you storing it?
What's that?
Are you selling your camper or just storing it?
No, we're going to store it, and we're going to let the other family members use it if they want, just so it doesn't dry up. But not dry up, but it gets all shitty in the gas in the engine and stuff like that.
Yeah, bugs get into it. Mice will find their way in, all that kind of stuff. You want people in them pretty regularly to keep that out. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, I can't because of the time difference. The show's going to be done. It'll be an indefinite hiatus, unfortunately. It's a bittersweet thing because I came back with the intention of keeping this going and doing my thing here, but with the loss of the job and then the new job, and I was offered a substantial amount more that allows me to move into a good place, take care of the family, and live in paradise. Like, how can I say no? Right. It's kind of like where I wanted to be anyway. So, and then. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys are able to help, that is the thing. I don't like asking, but that is for sure something that would help out is getting towards a new car. And it doesn't. I don't need thousands of dollars. I just it's again supplemental things wherever you can, y'all. But I'm gonna what I'm trying to do is like when I get there is. What I'll probably end up doing is some afternoon show or something like that. Eventually with what's it called? Yo, what's up, Flawed? You guys can come in.
Hey,
You guys got the link if you
Flawed.
guys can come in. Flawed,
Yeah,
if
get
you're
the
awake,
link, grab it,
you got the
show
link, bro. What's it called? So I've been working on some game dev stuff. So the streams, if I do them in the future, will probably be like game dev stuff, and maybe some video game stuff, because I love games. I actually made my start for streaming was in Hawaii, like streaming middle of the day basically, and playing games. But now that I'm starting to like learn code and actually make code that works, I'm going to try and build on that and see like how I can do it and come up with games, and trying to build one out now. Actually, like kind of like two. So.
Well, Flawed, the last one is the 18th.
Yeah, the last episode's the 18th. So save the date.
So if you're gonna try to make one of them soon, that's what we got left.
Yeah, Flawed. Let's try and get you on the 18th so you can hang out all night, because that'll be the very last one until I don't know when. So, but yeah.
Indefinite hiatus.
You too, Garrett.
Okay.
If you can't tonight, I know you're probably editing, but if you can make
He's
the 18th,
driving.
great. What's that?
Oh,
He's
yeah, he's
driving
coming back
right now.
Oh,
He's
right.
got an hour
Coming
left
back.
in his drive, and then he said he might be able to jump on.
Oh,
There
right
you
on.
go.
Cool.
Dope.
Raja. 18th is my anniversary, but I'll try. Fuck. All right.
I guess we'll see you next week. See you next week, Flood.
Yeah. Either way,
We go late enough that you can get on after your anniversary.
yeah. Do that first.
Yeah.
Get
Take
off,
care
then
of all
get
that
on.
nonsense. Exactly.
Get out, get off, get back on.
Oh.
What do we have? What can we talk about
is
this week? What can we
awesome
bitch about this week?
Oh, we can always find kind of fun things to bitch about.
Yeah.
Night Rain's freaking hard.
My brains, yeah. Let's see. The what is it called? Oh, I
don't know.
I have a bunch of stuff here. Sorry.
Not a clue. No idea what's going on.
Yeah. So let's talk about this.
Okay.
Nala Ray. She's speaking at the Turning Point USA event. What are your thoughts?
I don't even.
Nala Ray is the
I saw
OnlyFans girl turned Christian.
She's the chick
Okay.
that was on whatever cast, became a Christian, kind of gave up the whole OnlyFans thing, and now they're having her as a conservative speaker to young women at Turning Point.
So, go ahead.
I don't
No,
really,
Brahma, go ahead.
yeah, I don't really care who they have speak there. I mean, they've had Brandy Love has been a conservative for a while. I mean, there are a few people in that business that also carry some conservative ideals, especially fiscally. They just don't tend to be socially conservative. So, I mean, the party is all types, and the Republican Party is not near as conservative as most of the conservatives want. So it doesn't surprise me that the party, or in this case, TPUSA, is willing to have somebody like Nala there. I worry that it still may all be a grift for her. I don't know.
At what point does it become not a grift for her, though?
Well,
I don't know.
I-
That's the question, because, I mean, it's a pretty big turnaround, and I'm glad to see it if it's a real turnaround. But she's also said that the whole thing that while she was doing the OnlyFans, that was all an act too. So, by
says-
her own admission, she's been a liar.
It's a grift for all of them. Also, King Deplorables, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for accepting the invite.
Good. What's up? Chilling. Been seeing
What
all
do
the
you-
drama. from
What do you think
afar.
about Nala Ray at the Turning Point USA event? You think it's
I think I don't care. It's a bunch of women talking. Never anything good comes out of that.
true? True.
For that panel specifically, yeah.
No, yeah, especially for that group of hens talking. Now I don't want to hear it. No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you know, we're not mind readers. I mean, maybe she's still got some stuff about her, but who doesn't? I mean, she gave. as far as we know, she stopped her OnlyFans stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean, good for her for that. I mean, baby steps. At least
Right.
you know.
I mean,
Other
it's
than
one of them it's one of them situations where we have to, you know, at least in my perspective as a Christian, you have to offer like a certain amount of grace to somebody that is trying to change their life, because if you go, even if it is a grift, right, that doesn't affect how you should act towards them, right? Even if it is a grift, that shouldn't affect how you act, because you should still treat them as it is an honest and true thing, because the last thing you want to do is have somebody who might be in a position of where they might be borderline, right? They might still be teetering on where their decision is. And if you go and automatically just assume that everything they're doing is a grift, that everything they're doing is lying, and that it's all just BS and nonsense, well, that's just going to push them right back into what, well, if I try to change and they're all still going to treat me like this, why am I even bothering? You know what I mean? So from that perspective, like it's one of those things, I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. I saw about it on Twitter. I didn't know who she was, but if it's one of those things, if she really has tried to turn her life around and she really has like seen the evil of her ways, then it's one of those things. She'd probably be a great person to talk to the younger female generation about this kind of stuff, because there are so many of them that get into it and that think it's an easy pathway to easy money and stuff like that, and not realizing that they're literally sacrificing a piece of their soul every time they do this nonsense. You know what I mean? That, because the internet's forever, right? Those pictures, those videos, that stuff will never ever go away if you have any kind of popularity whatsoever. So, you know, it's one of them situations, you decide to turn your life around like maybe she has, right? And then now, you know, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, you've got kids, and now all of a sudden your boys discover the internet, and holy shit, look what mommy used to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's something you can't come back from. You know, so if that's the kind of stuff she's preaching, if that's the kind of stuff she's telling these young girls and stuff like that, then by all means, more power to her. We need more of that. So,
yeah, there is an element of it that is a grift, though, right? Money likes to make money, and you can. My concern was, and I was speaking to some other Christians about this before, weeks back. I think she was, I forgot what other, it was a video or something she released baking a cake or something. Exactly, Flawed. But yeah, my worry is that in her efforts to keep making money and to stay relevant, she went from lust and porn to money and being fake. And that's just from a Christian perspective, you know.
But how so?
Yeah, because I mean, well, you know, in this space, what you have to do in order to, well, when you make it to that level anyway, what you have to sacrifice, what you have to give up, what you have, you know, being double-minded is not, from a Christian perspective, something you're called to do. You can't try to have one foot in the world and the other in the spiritual, you know, following Jesus. Can't do it. So if she is grifting, like Flawed said, it's between her and God. I mean, she's got hell coming for her.
I just think it'll be interesting to see Allie Beth Stuckey and Nolan on the same panel.
Well, isn't that? Well, I don't know who's the other person. I don't know who the other person is.
Allie Beth Stuckey.
Yeah, who's
just
that?
A conservative commentator.
Well, like,
she's
that's
very
what I was trying to say the other day.
Yeah,
it's like,
very traditional.
we need more panels and people like that who can like sit at the same table and talk. Enough of this sitting around like jerking each other off, you know, like the whole day.
Nala.
Like,
clip it.
There's so much of that on the internet, and there's not enough of like, even like Nala's being a new Christian. Like, let's have that perspective, and also someone who's like traditional, you know, Christian conservative. Like, I think the perspectives are different, because maybe maybe she still has some progressive and liberal ideas floating in her head. I don't know, but I think we do need more of that.
Most people don't. Most people do, because most people don't agree 100% with any political party or political leaning.
Right.
So, yeah, you're going to get differences in opinion on many topics. And yes, like I was saying earlier, I mean, that group tends to be very much more socially progressive, even if they are fiscally conservative. So, yeah, I think it'll be an interesting maybe talk. I don't know how they're doing it. There's like 30 women invited to this thing. So I would guess that they're each going to have a speaking spot, not an actual panel or anything. But
Well, that's the first mistake, letting women talk. So
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
think King already made that joke.
oh, did he? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you missed
on
it.
that.
Wow, way to pay attention to your guests, Shags. Wow, what a host we have. What a host we have.
I credit King for that. I probably just,
appreciate it.
I mean, it's
sounds
one
like
of those things too. It's one of those things too. At the exact same time, if she is honest about that, I mean, the best testimony come from the people that have been in the darkest places. You know what I mean? Is, the
Russell
people who can
Brand.
talk about the fact that it's like, it's like an AA. You go to AA and obviously one of the things in AA is fake it until you make it, right? Follow the rules as best you can, even if it's not embodied into you. But it's one of those situations where, like, those are the stories you hear. Those are the hardcore stories that shake people to the bone, is the ones you hear about. Some of those guys that were at death's door, and you know what I mean? And somebody finally got them into a program or into a treatment facility. They were literally, the shakes, you know what I mean? The detoxing, and because alcohol is the one thing that from detoxing you can literally die. Heroin, all the rest of that stuff, they can throw you in a room and let you sweat it out. Alcohol will literally kill you.
I think heroin
and
will
so
kill
it's
you
like,
on a withdrawal. Unfortunately.
oh well, that's not what all the clinical people have told me that do that stuff. But it's one of those things. It's like, those are some of where the best stories. Those are some of the ones that actually do turn their lives around and do that kind of stuff. And so, like I said, it's one of the, and like everybody said, it's between her and God if she's lying about it, if it is a grift. But at the exact same time, it's like, those are where some of the best stories come from. We've got a guy that's doing some preaching at our church right now as kind of like helping out with some interim stuff. And like, dude was, hardcore freaking, Mexican gangster shit back in the day, drugs, all of that kind of stuff. And now he's standing up in front of a bunch of people preaching, so you never know what happens.
This is like, you made someone, it's either Brahma or you, Jesse, I forget, but brought up something important about, like, well, Brahma was you. You said Russell Brand. Like, Russell Brand was a person that, like,
Converted at about the same time as Nala.
Right. So, but like, he is oftentimes celebrated in his conversion. I know people are still highly critical of him, but like, his transition to, Catholicism has been definitely looked at as something like, oh, this is great. But Nala's is like, everyone's like, well, I don't know. And, so this becomes my point of like, at what point
that's
are we
kind of
just
hypocritical?
Yeah. Are we just being hypocritical about it?
I think part of the reason for that was, like, she's on whatever cast, blows up huge, her OnlyFans makes her multi-millions of dollars. Then suddenly she pops out and says, okay, I'm done with that, I'm a Christian now.
Yeah, but
whereas Russell Brand, we watched, kind of go through
it was
about
a little
2
bit
years of him figuring things out and going from being somebody who was pretty far left at one point to kind of getting to the center and then kind of finding God in his own way. So we saw steps with him. I'm not saying, either of them could be, full-blown Christian, or they could be, just using it, because Russell Brand also had the allegations right about the time that he started that conversion.
and still dealing with
So
them.
that could have been, something to get him out of it. But we at least kind of saw him switching his thinking, where she just kind of was like, I'm doing this, now I'm doing this.
Yeah, but you're
From
also
a-
talking Hollywood superstar versus like
Sure.
an OnlyFans model that was on a halfway like known podcast, and and the thing with her is like, it doesn't serve her at all to give up however much she was making in in OnlyFans to now, maybe there's no way she's making what she was making on OnlyFans.
No, she's
To
definitely
give
not.
that up is insane. So like, that's where I think, like, you got to be there must be something happening behind the scenes that was too much, and you had to give that up, or again, that's where I have to say, like,
married,
I have to,
so
What's
maybe
that?
she got married, so maybe
Hmm.
the boyfriend / fiance was like, yeah, I'm not cool with this anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
good
know.
possibility. Brahma does bring up a good point, though. We did see it very well documented with Russell Brand. Like you could, I used to watch his videos every so often. You know, I'd probably like watch like one of them a week, and you really could kind of see like he's one of those guys that COVID kind of broke him. Yeah, and it's one of those things like he came out of COVID kind of looking for the truth, kind of really having his eyes open, and you can watch it throughout his videos and all that kind of stuff as it continues to go on and as you see his change. So I think it's probably a lot more acceptable with Russell Brand because you've seen that documented gradual change. But you're right, Shags, that's a whole hell of a lot of money to give up, right? Like something had to break in order to give up that massive amount of money.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
also
it
probably
could be
set
God.
for life with that amount of money.
Sure. And it makes it easier for her to say, oh, you know, praise God. In either case,
the thing after she came out was everybody was like, okay, then give back the money.
Yeah. In either case,
you know,
she doesn't
donate
have
it to charity or something.
Like I think anybody who made that
I think that was
is
stupid.
retarded.
Yeah.
But in either case, again, from a Christian perspective, neither one of them should be out there doing what they've been doing. Now, I haven't been following either one of them because I think I muted them on Twitter, so it's like I stopped hearing about them because I got tired of it. But it was like every 5 minutes she was doing an interview. Every time I turned around, like like Russell Brand was baptizing, or he's getting. It's like every 5 seconds.
He got baptized, then turned around and was baptizing everybody else.
Yeah,
that's a little weird.
It's like
that's a little weird.
He went really hard. It's like, okay, take a little time, learn the faith, kind of center yourself. I mean, you're no Paul, you're no Peter. Settle down, pump the brakes a little bit.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
That's Russell Brand's personality is he was an addict. I mean, he's been an addict at everything he's ever done.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think religion's going to be any different for him. I think he's going to, go full addict into religion if that's what he's into now. Whether he sticks with it, I mean, who knows? But I mean,
baby Christian.
That is what an addict would do as a baby Christian: is dive right off the high dive.
And I mean, if you've seen
taking milk instead of trying to eat meat.
I mean, it's one of them situations where you see that happen. You see Christians happen like that convert, and they're on fire for a while, and like it's not unusual for what he's. I mean, it's Russell Brand, so of course he's probably going to a little bit more extreme than what you'd see, but it's not unusual to see a Christian recently converted go woo all the way into it either.
Well, it's a marathon.
But when you've got an addict,
right? It is.
Well, and also, someone like the thing about someone like Russell, and even I guess Nala to an extent, because she has had so much money in the past, and Russell being again like a literal superstar, like he's able to sort of carry that fame into something else, and then also hyper focus and fixate on it because that's all he has outside of it. And the thing with Christianity is it likely helped enrich his relationships outside of that, whereas like Hollywood was destroying them in a lot of ways. This was helping, like, hey, I can separate myself from Hollywood, take jobs if I really want to, but I could focus on the things that are truly healthy: family, my career, which is now podcasting, and my faith, which is all things again that are essentially enriching his life. But the thing is like that on the outside, from someone, from even the layman, like it looks suspicious because you're like, what are you trying to hide, buddy? Like, why all of a sudden the thing? When before, right. I mean, when you look at his career in Hollywood, he was doing everything he possibly could. He was taking a lot of roles. So this was just the next big thing for him to do. And it seems so far, until he gives me a reason otherwise to not believe him, that it's working and that he honestly is doing better. He feels better. He's not doing drugs. Same thing with Nala. I don't care. Like, if you're happy, you're not putting that shit online, and you're trying to, or raise a family and be a good person. What am I supposed to?
And that's kind of what I was getting at with Brand being an ex-addict. Is, a lot of Christians will describe it as, going through life, having a big hole in you and you're looking for something to fill it. Christians believe it's God, and Russell Brand probably has a huge hole because, with that addictive personality, I mean, he's got to find something to fill it.
Was he at Diddy's parties? Because that hole might be big too.
He has said that he did attend at least one party and saw nothing crazy going on.
Oh, come on. Just the thought of it.
Well, and it's one of those other things too. Is like we've known Russell Brand as a sexual degenerate for like literal decades. Like this has been like the most open secret in Hollywood forever. I mean, there's been interviews with his girlfriends in the past talking about how like, you know, like if she wasn't in the mood, like he'd just invite other girls over and shit like that. Like this guy, like everybody's known this guy has been. So it's like the whole accusations thing. It's like that really doesn't float with me because it's like the guy's been getting accusations for like decades at this point. Like nothing new has changed.
Sorry, I'm not a wordsmith like you, Flawed.
You did say hole quite a bit.
Well, that was the point.
No, I know.
That was the whole point, by the way.
Whole point.
Nothing but the point.
So help me God.
I had this.
What's up, Rankin?
What's up, everybody?
We went to this. The elementary school right down the street from me has school lunch during the summer from like Monday through Thursday, and I went there, and one of my son's friends, this little girl, really cute, was there with her mom and her brother. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Are you Slater's dad?" And I go, "Uh-huh." And he goes, "My dad has a black beard with white hair." And then she goes, "But he's brown." And I just look over at the mom who's white and she's just like bright red. Like, what the fuck?
Kids say what's on your mind.
God bless children. The truth from the mouth of babes, man. The truth from the mouth of babes. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. But Raiken, what's up, man? How you doing? What happened?
Doing all right. My camera decided to do like a little update, and right as I joined, I'm like, "Oh, all right, hold on."
Right on.
So
Sounds about
I had to step away for a second, let that happen.
Cool.
Anyways, how's everybody else doing?
Wonderful.
Been doing
Another beautiful day in paradise.
amazing.
We're all
What are you
wearing
eating? Are you
branded
eating
clothes tonight.
No, sorry, gum.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
So.
it's okay if you want to eat. Anyone can eat here. Well, I'm not. This isn't.
No,
this
don't
isn't
do
Adam
that.
Quigley's
I
show.
will tell you. I will quickly tell you.
No, I
to
had
use
a
that
steak sandwich earlier.
Ooh,
Nice.
steak sandwich. Damn.
Sushi and shrimp. We had sushi and shrimp. Summertime, church stops doing meals on the Wednesdays, so we got to eat before we go now.
Oh. Robots are taking over? What the hell does that mean? What?
I don't know. Maybe everybody was roboting for Flawed.
Don't call me out like that, Vlog. Oh. Yeah, exactly. His camera was running his life.
You know what, King? I think on the last episode of the show, you got to turn your camera on. Can you turn the camera on the last show?
I literally have no camera hooked up to this computer.
I
don't want China looking at me.
Fine.
Oh, China's always looking at you.
I know they're listening to me for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Everything is listening to
You
us.
don't want to. No, you don't want to see King nude. That's no. Don't do that.
King's sitting there nude.
Like a freaking rug.
It's like it's hot as balls in my house. I'm butt naked with like 5 million fans blowing on me.
You know,
We all below the camera.
Well,
I was going
I'm
to
not
share.
Wear pants for these?
Yeah. Just in case I have to
God.
walk out that door, then yeah, you don't want to see my ass as I walk out.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm literally just underwear and a shirt. That's it. I know it just got really
the
hot
good
and
life.
spicy on this stream. Excitement.
King's over there is like, yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
heavy breathing.
Letting it all hang in.
You hear that belly slap every once in a while.
get in there nice and deep black.
He's got a Budweiser and a wife beater on.
I know where to get
Ever
there.
seen a grown man naked?
Oh shit!
I wanted to share this quote earlier when I was ranting, as I do, because it made sense, but it encompassed everything that I think I realized over the past however many years of doing this like YouTube stuff. And the quote is from The Matrix, and it says I think it was when they're doing the red woman simulation, the red dress lady. And he says, you have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. And I just thought, man, the movie just seems so far ahead of its time in a lot of ways, but that just seemed to really encapsulate kind of how I've come to like look at people, and even now, like even with the 1984 reprint that had like the warning label.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't know. It was. I try not to lose hope with things, and I try not to get too deep in my thoughts every day with all this stuff. And remember to be thankful, because my life is changing for the better, ultimately, and that is something to be happy about, not sad. But when I think about some of the YouTube content creators and content creation that even I've done, I just think, man, this is just kind of, it's so true. Like we're so sucked in and almost dependent on the system that we fight to protect that thing, even though we know it's bad for us. Mainly pertaining to like social media. Like we know social media is bad. We know it's not good for us. Yet every day we engage with it and say, no, I'll keep posting. It's the right thing to do. Like it's probably better to just get yourself off of there, because it's not good for you. There's plenty of research to say that it's bad. And it's bad for your brain chemistry. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys had anything that you want to add to that, but that was just a thought I had.
I mean, everything in moderation. You know what I mean? I think social media is a tool, and it can be used properly for whatever you want to use it for. If you use it for the right things, then yeah, but it's just like anything else. If it becomes an addiction and you become obsessed with it and you're on it, I mean, I know I was like that with Facebook back when Facebook was still fun for a little while. Like you couldn't show me a meme on Facebook that I hadn't already seen. You know what I mean? And that was a little bit of a problem. You know what I mean? And I've definitely moderated my social media stuff. As far as like Twitter and all that kind of stuff a lot, but it's just like anything else. It's a tool. It's very useful. It's great for networking. It's great for it's great for resource gathering. But if you spend your entire life obsessing over social media and arguing with strangers on the internet just for either because you enjoy it, because you're obsessive, or because you think it's going to get you some kind of attention or traction, well then yeah, that's a problem. So people can become obsessive with it. And I prefer the quote of, I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny upon the mind of man. That's always one of my favorite ones. That's one of the reasons why I keep doing what I keep doing. So that's a Thomas Jefferson quote. But the Matrix one is really good. And the other problem, one of the other things I was thinking about that is when you said the Matrix quote too, is there's a great line in the New Testament too about sometimes you have to dust off your sandals and move on, because there's some people you're never going to reach, right? There's some people you're never going to fix. And like you said, some of them will die defending, what this cult, this institution, whatever they've implemented, whether it be in, government or, Hollywood or tech or corporations or finance. It's the same spirit of the age that's infected all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so it'll all end up being the same thing in one version or another. So I don't know. But
yeah. I hope Flawed is wrong here, that we're past the point. It's like TV. It's part of our lives now. I hope that's not the case. I mean,
yeah, he's right. Unfortunately,
yeah, it's not going away.
It's whole generations that are growing on it more than we ever did.
Well, I'm not saying that we could totally remove it. Like, I guess I would like to see it dialed back in a way that was.
Well, that's just like our grandparents calling TV the boob tube.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I mean, it is the same thing.
Yeah,
that is the form of entertainment that the younger generations are going towards, is like TikTok and shit. So, it's the same as us being told you shouldn't sit in front of the TV all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
a different
everybody
generation.
knows you should dial it back, but
it never gets dialed back. And
see,
but that's my point. That's all of our jobs, like that's the job of of the present parent, is like you have to be the one to show that it's possible, because if you're the one doing the thing, whether it's like on your phone or watching a show or making YouTube content all the time, like that just again is perpetuating the thing that it's okay to do, whereas I guess long story short is nature versus nurture. If you are raising someone in an environment devoid of that stuff, they're not going to know as much. Again, obviously you can't completely remove. I think people living off the grid completely is not, I don't think that's viable necessarily, but I do think that if technology is something that's limited in your family and community, that you're
limiting screen time, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and even and limiting the access to them up into a certain point, like in their lives, like they it's not that they don't learn, they can't learn those things because they're preoccupied with other things, because you're going camping, you're going on hikes, there's not time to engage with those things. Does that make sense? So it becomes incumbent on us and the community leaders to push that and be the to
build that mentality where like the internet is just the internet and it's not directly affecting, you don't need to let it directly affect your life and how you feel about the world, because like for the most part things that people are doing on the internet thousands of miles away from you don't directly affect your life, and you don't need to let it affect your life. But if you live on the internet and you let the things that other people are doing or saying across the world affect you, then you're letting it affect your life when it doesn't have to. Because if you just step away, you can just be like, ignore all that, and you really wouldn't see a difference in your life.
Flawed's right. It's getting to a point where it's a luxury you have to be able to afford to be able to step away.
Yeah.
Well, but okay, explain that. Let's dive into that a little bit. Why is it a luxury to not be a part of the technology system, or at least limit that technology system?
The irony
it's cheap
is
and easy.
The irony is that they claim that, especially with black people, it's actually quite the inverse. They claim that it's about lack of access to this technology. So what have they done? They've made it so affordable for everyone to have access to it, which is obviously their original goal anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's so hard. Like, you want your news, Twitter or like Google News or Apple News, cell phone with smartphones, instant access to world news, local news. I mean, news you don't even care about news.
Yep.
And they just force feed it constantly. And it's not just any kind of news, it's mostly negative news. It makes you think that every aspect of the world around you is trash and everybody's out to get you. And, there's war breaking out everywhere. I mean, literally, it's not. Just
That's
in the
not a
same
luxury
places.
to not have that, though, is what I'm saying. If you didn't have that, if people learned to not engage with that thing, they wouldn't have this voice in their head, Civil War.
You have to have that luxury to not be able to have access to it. It's everywhere. Every kids nowadays, you go out somewhere, the phones are in their faces.
Or they get shamed if they don't have a phone.
Yeah.
But again,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, again, to my point, that is, it's incumbent upon the parents to, from a very young age, to engage with their kids in a way that teaches them that they can't be bullied by people about friends having phones. That life is possible without the phone. There are computers around, there are phones in every
We'll go live in the
single building.
Amish community.
What's that?
They do it right. We'll go live in the Amish community.
No, now you don't need to take it to the extreme. We just take it to
No,
because I didn't say that they couldn't.
I'm half joking, but
Right.
Yeah.
But at the exact same time, it's one of those things that's going to kind of come down to a cultural divide, right? Because he's not far off with the Amish comparison when you really think about it. Because if you think about it to compare it to the spirit of the age, right? That we see the people and how they've been affected in places like San Francisco and Los Angeles and New York, and the way they think and the way they do things, right? And it's one of them situations where they have all raised their kids to act and think like that, right? Rachel Zegler is a prime example. She was raised in the LA world. She was raised by, Hollywood elites. She was a child star. It doesn't surprise anybody that she thinks like that, right? Whereas you have somebody else who's raised by a Christian conservative family, and they're brought up in a different way. They don't act like that. They don't essentially show their ass in public like the way somebody like that has. It really is. It's going to come down to a cultural thing. Some people's families are going to, and like you said, and what Flawed is talking about when it comes to a luxury, because Flawed brings it up, it's if you have to work, yeah, you know what? it's a pain in the butt for me to try to come out here and work, or if I had to go to work or something like that, and not, hey, back in the day, you'd put a movie on for a kid and keep them occupied for a couple hours. Now you give them a tablet for a couple hours because you have to get something done. You have to work, right? You can't always do that kind of thing.
Nintendos and Segas
right?
and PlayStations to
yeah,
keep
but
us
the
occupied.
difference, yes, but these things, you guys are missing the difference. I don't know if it's like willfully but like a Nintendo and the things that we played with were not online. They were like single use things that like weren't connected to everything. And the other advantage we had is that we understood that like we'd get bored of these things because we couldn't just connect with it, or it didn't lead to another game, or it didn't lead to another app or whatever. So eventually we shut the thing down and hey, that TV time's up, time to go outside. And being outside was part of it. And I know my parents, like my dad, like he engaged with me outside. He didn't, obviously tablets weren't around, so he couldn't just throw a tablet in my face. But like we went outside and we worked on like building a stone wall, or we, did, I don't know, yard work.
Sure. Most of us grew up outside.
But again, that doesn't mean just because a tablet exists today doesn't mean you have to give the child that, and it doesn't mean you don't have to.
Right, but here's the thing, Shags. That is exactly true of parents now. I've been a parent for 21 years. We didn't know how bad it was going to get.
But now we do.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we've had a whole generation that has grown up that way, that's how they think they should raise their kids too. And you can grandparent all you want, but it'll just come back as, well, you didn't do that.
Right.
They know it's bad. Just like everybody knows something they're
your
addicted to is
kids,
bad.
It's everywhere nowadays, and you cannot supervise. Just like even in our age, growing up outside. I think Epic Mike or somebody had a thread going or whatever the other day talking about being able to go outside and roam from sun up till freaking sunset. As long as you were home when the street light when they came on. As long as you were in the doors, Dad won't go, bust your ass. You were in there. But even then, we got into stuff we weren't supposed to.
Yeah,
Mom and Dad couldn't supervise us 24/7, and now it's like on steroids.
Somebody stole the porno mag from under their dad's bed and brought it out
exactly
to
all
wherever everybody, the Sandlot.
And
I'm
now
not
it's
under any illusion that we're going to keep kids off of a phone like indefinitely, or and I guess my point is that the way you teach balance is to be present. I've been talking about this for several months, if not a couple of years now. Like you just got to be present to teach like some sort of moderation, because kids won't learn moderation if they don't see you engaging in it, or see you engaging in other activities. Obviously, they're going to come across phones.
But not all parents can afford that. And what I mean by this is like a lot of with the economy how it is nowadays. It's like parents are both working. They're like a job, probably working a lot of overtime. So any time that they have with their kids, they're probably exhausted, and they're like, anything just to get some peace and quiet. I'm just going to give them the phone or the tablet just so I can get my 10 minutes peace and quiet, an hour peace and quiet. And it's like, as much as they want to probably be present, just like they're too exhausted because they're working just so that they can afford the house or afford the things for their kids.
Yeah. It's the other way that it can be a luxury to be able to get rid of it is like Dave Rubin every year goes off
takes a month off in August.
Month.
Yeah.
He can afford to do that. Most people
we can't.
Most people, the social media is the escape from the mundane life.
But I don't believe that either. I believe people think that that's not possible because they won't put money aside. They are perfectly capable of putting away $25 a week to into a fund that they don't touch, into a white envelope. I'm not touching this all year, and then come next August, I'm going. Maybe they can't go away for a month, but they can go away for a week or 2 weeks.
Because people,
but that's usually just financial illiteracy. That's we're not educated on how to properly do our finances and stuff in our school systems and whatnot.
And
they don't teach us all that.
I'm also talking that this is part of our responsibility. I mean, you guys aren't, not everyone here is parents, but this is the responsibility I like want to talk to, like that I want people to understand is that none of this is easy. It all takes time, and it's a generational thing. We did just go through a generation where people handed out tablets and we forgot about our kids to some extent, and we didn't know the effects of it. Now we know the effects of it, and we have to nip it in the butt. Can't give kids tablets so early and go unsupervised and not have it, you know, be policed or whatever.
Well, that's the idealistic solution, but that's not going to be the reality.
So
that's what
because
parents
most people
should
don't
do.
see it as a true problem either.
Right, exactly.
That's a thing.
They grew up with
people
it, and they're
us.
like, yeah, they're like, it's just a phone. It's just a tablet. It's no big deal.
Maybe
They'll be fine.
So everybody's very doom and gloom about all of this kind of stuff, and let me give you a little hope for the future. I have a mother-in-law who is a special education teacher, and this woman, despite my objections, has made sure that, well, the two youngest don't have tablets because they're 1 and 4 months old, but that all of my children have tablets. Okay, so that being said, my children will willingly put down all their crap and go outside and play. They want to go outside and play. They would rather, most of the time, be running the streets with their friends, going over to their friend's house, spending nights at their friend's house. My son loves to grab a fishing pole. He doesn't ever catch anything, but he loves to go down to the end of the laguna and throw the pole in there and mess around. You know what I mean? So it's one of them situations where, and like those two children are my bonus kids, right? I haven't been there with them since birth. I've only been with them for the last 4 years. So it's not like this is my major influence on them, like you could argue with some of the rest of my children. But like that's what they want to do. Kids want to go out and do that kind of stuff for all of our worries. And maybe it's worse in other places. Maybe it's just because of the community and the culture I live in that it's not that way here. But I go out to restaurants. The kids aren't all on their phones. I go to grocery stores. I go to Walmart at the time. Not every kid has a tablet or a phone in their hand wandering around the store. Like everybody seems to be like all doom and gloom about this. Like everybody's addicted to this. Like it's the freaking Matrix. And I just don't see that in my reality. I don't see that in the world around me the way everybody does. And like I said, maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe it's different in other areas. Maybe you guys do go to restaurants and everybody's on their fucking phone. Maybe you are. That's just not my experience. So I'm not as doom and gloom about it as everybody else might be. Yes, absolutely. Caution should always be taken. We should always watch out for these things. I mean, we've got a million stories of like teenage girls out there, you know, removing themselves from the planet because of the abuse that happened on social media. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on this stuff. But at the exact same time, kids still love to go outside and play. They don't want to be attached to a screen all day long. So that's just my experience.
If I lived in projects, I wouldn't want to go outside every day.
That's a good point.
I do think you're right, and I think everyone's experience is a bit different. Even Flawed's right. Like, even if you engage with your kids all the time, teach your kids doesn't guarantee anything. I am totally 100% understand that. I'm under no illusion again that, you know, just because you engage all the time and they don't have a phone doesn't mean that they won't become addicted to it. I get it. Like, I'm not dumb. But you could definitely reduce the risk by, again, like, have this way of thinking, and again, leading by example in some small respect.
I'm not saying at all that you're absolutely correct. I'm just telling you that's the ideal. It's just from a realistic viewpoint, it's just not going to translate out because, like, you know, you're going to have those who don't think it's a big deal. You're going to have those who don't. They just don't see any other way out than to give their kid a tablet because they need 5-10 an hour, you know, however long, just 5 minutes of peace because they got the water bill coming up. And if their kid asked them to go play one more time, it's just different for everybody. It's easier said than done for for a lot of people because they've been unfortunately indoctrinated on technology.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, trying to push for a community though really like like I know the right does it a little bit, but like we do need to push more from community to where like if we can help our neighbor, like in that sense where it's like, hey, I can take care of like I got like your kids can go play over with my kids while you go deal with that.
Yeah.
So that and like there's we've definitely kind of
lost
lost that sense of community where it was like, hey, somebody needs help. So if somebody can take care of their kids for a minute and have them go play with your kids or something like that, so that they can go get these things done, and so that and if we can focus on going back to that, then we can definitely work our way towards like not having to rely on technology to take care of our kids and more so like our community.
I am happy that I don't have an addictive personality of any type, so social media is not a problem for me.
Well, I mean, it's flawed. Another good point.
I didn't mean to do that. I meant to focus on Brahma as in like, what did he just say?
What? I don't collect anything, or
does he?
Does that light up?
Exactly. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber. All kids want to be YouTubers. When it's you can buy bots and get famous on Twitch or whatever whatever the young kids are doing nowadays. Everybody wants to. It's kind of like how everybody wanted to be a movie star or an astronaut back in the day, and now everybody wants to be on social media.
Well, what is it, Scott? Scott up here said drive-thrus are going to disappear. You'll order on their app and pick it up. Like, it's already happening. Or like the drive-thrus are even being more encouraged. Like, you have like 3 lanes or 2 lanes of drive-thrus, and it's like we're at a point now where we can't even get out of our car. Like, we can't go get groceries on our own. Some other
what pisses me off is like the curbside pickup, because like it just takes up all this empty space, and usually nobody's using it, and so there's all these empty car spots that I can easily park at, but because they save them for curbside pickups, like it pisses me off.
They want you to get the exercise walking
at the local grocery stores around my area, because they got so overwhelmed. The quality of the pickup got shit, so people stopped using it. So they started going back inside the stores.
I would rather go inside.
Exactly, there's like whole rows of pickup parking spots, and like nobody's ever in them.
Well, I told you the funniest thing. The one thing I love watching is lines forming at the self-checkout and people getting pissed off. So now they're going back to the actual checkout lines where people are, beep, 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 aunties there, helping you out.
They're getting mad.
That was also
I didn't
because
come
of the
to work
rampant
hoping
theft.
to do work today.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's funny how we've come full circle on this. And maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe we need to realize, and again, we got to get so unhealthy and so gross and fat and stuff that we can't even walk down the road to realize, like, oh, maybe Uber Eats isn't the best thing for us. Maybe I should just go and get stuff on my own.
It really is just expensive and stupid.
Well, I was
Did you find out from RFK
expensive.
that there's stuff in all, or they're putting anything into all of that stuff that you go get too. So,
yeah.
I mean, there is a reason America is a very unhealthy country.
Yeah,
and it's also one of those things. And to a certain degree, Shags, you're right. It does have to get to a breaking point. Think about how bad things had to get in the last 4 years for people to finally kind of wake up and turn things around. Right? We hadn't seen a Republican guy get elected with winning the popular vote since what? Before W? Did W win the popular vote his first time around? Reagan.
No.
Yeah. So like that shows you right there that things finally got bad enough to where the majority of the culture finally shifted and was like, fuck this no more. You know what I mean? And you're right. And so unfortunately,
that was also
but honestly,
right after Carter, who was much like Biden, economy wise.
Yeah. And so it's
people start to feel the pain, and that's when they make the change.
And when it comes to the whole fat and lazy thing, I mean, we see that changing already now. I mean, fuck, we fat shamed Lizzo into going to the gym. I mean, that's a win as far as the hell I'm concerned.
No, but what Shag was fucking discovered, and she lifted weights a couple times a week.
I recently saw a video where she was twerking. I don't know if, I mean, it's great that she lost a lot of weight, but I mean,
I didn't say she looked great. I just said I'm just glad to see that she's
no.
losing some weight.
I'm just saying it's great that she did lose a lot of weight, but it's not great that she's now twerking like she's an OnlyFans model or in a rap video or something.
But something else Shags was saying earlier, like everybody was talking about how, it's like everybody's like, yeah, it's like, we can only, you're never going to be able to fix all the problems. And you're right. By talking about this, you're never going to fix all the problems. But if you talk about it, if you bring this stuff up about the tablets and limiting all that kind of stuff and all that interaction, you keep it in people's minds, right? So it's gonna cause some people out there to kind of second guess themselves before they hand over that tablet, before they give all that extra screen time. It's gonna be like, do I really want to do this? And that's the point. Why? That's the good part about keep talking about it. Yeah, you're not gonna save everybody. You're not gonna fix everybody. But you know what? If Shag spends 20, 30 minutes on a show once a week talking about this and bringing it up, and he saves 5 kids, 10 kids, and cost the entire planet, sounds like it was worth it to me. So
yeah, it's a combination of the two. It's talking about it and then also practicing it, right? Like, it's good for me to talk about it for like maybe the broader audience, but like where it makes the most difference likely is at home, where if I don't disengage from the thing, tablet, screen, whatever, it's not seen in practice, and the people who I'm raising to be the better people, like, than myself, they're going to be like, oh, well, he talks about it, but he doesn't actually do it, so fuck him. That's kind of, I think that's where a lot of times people deviate from like the teaching or the engagement. Is like, well, dad's saying one thing, doing the other, so fuck it, right? But again, not everyone's going to be an adopter of whatever. There's always been people going against the grain, etc. I like how Flawed was like, yeah, I can't come on because I'm going to be up early, and he's been in chat fucking talking.
Yeah, he's been in chat the entire time.
Been live for 2 hours.
He's relaxed.
He's in bed on his tablet.
Yeah, he's on his tablet
exactly.
trying to learn.
Fucking may as well have been in here the entire time.
At least Garrett's not his excuse. He's like,
Yes, he is in bed.
He's in bed.
oh, yeah.
On
my phone.
on his phone. Not a tablet. That's fine.
Oh, that is
I was probably
great.
kicking him like, shut the fuck up, stop laughing. Stop fucking
You could join StreamYards on your phone.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
got
you
a
can do it. You
notification.
StreamYards on your
StreamYards
phone.
works on the phone. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Tablets
for kids and boomers. I do have to admit, for reading my digital comics, it would be nice to have a tablet. That's the only time I ever actually think I want one.
You know what's awesome about reading comics on a tablet? And I know people are like, oh, get the real thing. When you, on the app I had, you can like touch and it goes to each panel and it like does like an interactive.
Oh yeah, I saw some of the ones that
it
did those.
I like it because it's like, it's a really cool way to like, I mean, obviously I know how to read a comic, but it's just cool to like, to watch it kind of zoom in and out and you get to see the whole page. Like it's really good. I used to do that all the time, but gaming, listening to the stream and checking Twitter, boom, connected.
I'm on the stream, checking Twitter and watching the hockey.
Am I the only one that's actually paying attention to what's going on this stream?
No, I am. I'm listening cautiously. I might hear something dumb and say something in response.
Beast, what are you playing? What are you playing on your 60-inch?
Ooh. Dude, that blows me away. I was walking through Walmart the other day. They got like a 95-inch TV in there for like $400, $500. I was like, holy fuck.
I don't even have a car big enough or a wall big enough to put that on. You know, like what?
Well, I certainly don't have a wall big enough. I got a van, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, you guys know I'm in the garage. Yeah. The TV on the wall over there is 75. The biggest TV in the house is in my garage with me.
As it should be.
As it should be. He's exactly right.
I love that. That's great.
Barely able to fit my TV in the Kia Forte.
See, Flawed, that's why you gotta have like six. That's why you gotta have like 6 kids, man. It gives you an excuse to buy like an Econoline van, and then you can put anything in that damn thing.
Yo, Flawed is like, he's like rapping on his fucking songs like the most badass dude. And then he's like, we're going to get my Kia Forte to go down to the rap battles tonight.
I had to go down to the recording studio to record my rap songs. Rolling down here in my Kia Forte.
Gangster motherfucker I know.
Speaking of ungangster motherfuckers, what's up, Quarterback Garrett?
Yo, I heard fat and lazy, so I showed up.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Same with the rest of us.
What are we talking about? What's going on?
We're talking about raising kids off of tablets and not making lazy fat assholes for the future, I guess, is where we're at.
That's kind of where we're at. Yeah, that's good. It's an accurate description.
But you gotta. I feel like you got to. The kids got to know what their other kids are doing, right? You know, so you got to give them a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's really just not let them go crazy. The way we do it, we have each kid has their own iPad. I know it sounds crazy, but they have 1 hour. 1 hour a day after 3 p.m. after they did their school, after they did all that stuff. Then they get 1 hour, and if we feel generous, we'll give them more time. But and it's super limited. It's not like you can go wherever the fuck you want to go. You can't go on the internet. It's like you can have these apps, and that's it, and you get 1 hour. Because like
Go
I
take
mean, when
care
you
of
think
your
about
farm
it,
on Farmville.
yeah. When you think about it, we all had video games. We played our Sega Genesises and lost a bunch of time doing dumb shit. So I want to give them that too. And when when they are our age and they go, oh, you remember that playing on the iPad on this game or that game? And if I totally
Roblox.
shelter them and I say you can't touch that, then they'll be like, oh, well, I was never allowed to. That's just I don't know.
That's when you get weird people. Yeah, trust me. And I don't want anyone to think that when I was saying this that I'm like, again, I'm not a Luddite. Like I'm not trying to like remove like we're like using a can and rope to talk to our neighbors. Like I do exactly what you do. We have it's like an hour or two like a day that the kids get, and I'm actually implementing the actual timers like on the Xbox. And like I can set all the parental controls. Like I set up a family account for the kids on the Xbox so they can play and get their own achievements, but like it's not going crazy. Like I don't want it to be unhinged or like under I can't even think of the words,
it can get bad. It can get really bad when you go to a restaurant and you see the table next to you, their kids completely locked into the iPad the entire time with the headphones on.
Oh, that's
you don't even understand how they
kids?
eat. Like they're so locked in. They're so locked in. Like you miss when they take a bite because they're just in their phone.
And see that's like such a major issue just because like when kids are out and about like that, they just don't develop good social skills.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
They don't know how to interact with people because they're just on their tablet constantly. That was like a problem that I had where I was always on my Game Boy, and I think like that created a problem for like when I was in my like teens. Is like I had a hard time interacting with people just because like I didn't develop those social skills at a young age.
That's another thing. We don't let them take the iPads outside the house. It's like it's only an inside the house thing for a certain amount of time on a certain amount of things.
You know what I find myself doing with my nephew and his son? He'll be 2 in November. And they, him and my nephew and the boy's mom is like, oh, we only let him watch this much cartoons and only have, so he's very limited on what he does, like technology wise. And I'm like, let the boy watch. I find myself in those moments when like as parents, they're struggling and they're like, they're not asking for advice because they think they have it all figured out, but they're struggling and you're like, just give them 30 more minutes of TV. It's fine. You survived watching TV. You'll be fine. It's okay. They're not going to be like psychopaths or anything.
Sometimes, yeah. Like I think that's fine occasionally. It's just it's easy to slip into I need a break, so just let them watch TV, and then it becomes like everyone says it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. It does become like and you don't want them to like that to become their way of like coping with boredom. Like kids need to be bored, but need to learn how to get over that boredom through means of like being artistic or reading a book. Like that is totally a thing.
Coloring.
And again, you're not going to get everyone, but like allowing the kid, because you want peace and quiet at a table, to have headphones in it. Like you shouldn't have had kids then, because you obviously don't want to raise kids. You want kids like you want like a Chihuahua,
purse puppy,
purse puppy. Like it's not a thing you show off. It's like it's a living human being that loves you and like engage with it. And also
that's why I never take my kids anywhere. I just
I heard fentanyl helps you break a technology.
Bro, there was one time.
But then you end up face first in the fucking fence. So I guess you.
Or ODing before you can do it.
Yeah.
50-50,
What were we gonna say?
Core back there, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say. So we went from my wife has looked this up. She's found out that most people have problems going from 2 to 3 kids, right? And we did not have that problem. We were fine with 3, and we were like, let's have another one. We had a big cultural change in our house when we went from 3 to 4. And because
remember talking to your wife about this.
Yeah, it was just like it was pretty bad. And then the first time they were all old enough, and like my youngest was a toddler at the time, and we took him out to go eat. It was the worst experience ever. It was just like crying little toddler baby, and then the middle one is also crying for some reason, and they're all like, I don't want that, I don't want this, and it's like, but you can't, you gotta. So I figured out that you got to take them in pairs. That's what you do. Yeah. You take them in pairs. They're always playing off each other. So
listen, the first rule
tend to pair off with each other anyway.
The first rule is never be outnumbered, guys. The Jesse and Garrett, they're stupid. They don't ever
Cowards. Coward.
Look,
If you can't handle 6 kids out in public, like by yourself, not even with your spouse, are you even really a parent? Like, let's be honest here. Like,
we're doing the work for all of you, okay? All you people out there not having enough kids, somebody's got to do it.
These guys
gotta have a minimum of 3. Gotta have a minimum of 3. 2 to replace you and your spouse, and another one to increase the population. That's the only way our economy and our system survives.
To be fair, it was 100% our plan to have 3 kids, but with the second one being as early as he was, and the complications, the doctors were saying like, your risk of it goes up like exponentially, and it was not. Like, her second pregnancy was so bad, and obviously him being born at 25 weeks was like, it's not something you want to try and do again. So, but so we ultimately made the decision to not. But that was the plan, I will say, to my credit.
Always adopt.
Hey, y'all think by the final episode, Jesse will figure out how to use a noise gate?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay,
I was just about to say,
bought that nice mic.
So I was going to ask. No.
When he mutes.
So the problem with it, is I bought this new. So tell me when it sounds better, because the problem is I don't have anybody to help me like tune this stuff in.
Audio is tough.
Yeah, and so like I got this new soundboard so I could do all the.
This sounds better.
It's just way better.
Well,
that's not.
Nope,
that's not it. No.
No, okay. So, but I just turned it down. That's what I was trying, because I had that. I noticed that when I was editing a couple of my videos, that when I got loud, I was noticing some little, and it was irritating me. So yeah, that's the only problem.
No, we could just hear a fan going in the background the whole time.
Okay.
This sounds much better.
Thank God I said that.
Okay. Yeah,
everybody being real nice to Jesse. Okay.
No, what was funny about that too is actually I was going to ask you after the stream, like, Garrett, could you hop on with StreamYard with me real quick and make sure my audio's tuned in right?
I also figured out
because I had to do that with Jack when I got the new mic. I had to do that with Jack Tarlad to make sure it was right.
I missed that, bro. Yeah,
Jack's
I need to talk to him. Jack's awesome. I had for the longest time on FNT, I was always loud and I couldn't figure out why. And I was like, all my settings, the bar is low. When I look at the output, it's not peaking, but I found out that I had a compressor on there that was boosting the gain all the way up.
Yeah.
So it was like it was
the
leveling it
gain.
out. Yeah, it was leveling it out below at like minus 12, which is a good volume, but it was like crunching everything all the way up to that level. And I don't know, it was just like making me sound like I was loud, but I wasn't really loud. So
meanwhile, we had to teach comics how to get loud. You can finally hear him now.
Get loud.
Nice.
Well, you go into Windows and then click the settings.
Bro,
It
yeah.
actually raise
hate
back
Windows.
up to 100.
I hate Windows. Son of a
The
bitch.
problem with it too is
Keeps
that
trying to
changing
make it about
people's mics
audio.
left and right.
like audio engineering is like a whole fucking like study.
yeah.
And
It really
degree.
is.
Like there's a lot to it.
I've got a guy in my church that's got like a master's degree in audio engineering. Like he's done that stuff professionally. And yeah, like he's sitting there telling me, explaining some of that stuff. And I'm like, my eyes just kind of glaze over and I'm just kind of like nodding. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Well, and the bad thing is doing YouTube, the camera is not the important part. It is all your audio.
Mm-hmm.
And the audio is the hardest thing to do.
And I suck ass at audio, bro. I hate it.
There you go. Well, and like your chat's no help either, because a lot of time they can't.
Oh, they'll
always
fuck with you.
tell As
Yeah.
or they'll fuck with you that too. But like they can't tell as the same as we can when we're sitting here with each other with headphones on and stuff like that too. So,
Yeah, because you have everybody listening at different volumes, different
And
headsets,
on different things. You know,
yeah.
we all have these.
Right, but
you know,
the really weird one is when we all sound normal to each other, like the normal volume, but chat will be telling us that two people are
Right.
quiet or one person is real loud, and it's like
and that's normally StreamYard's
there's
being
nothing
retarded.
back here.
God dang, we're in 2025. We can't figure this shit out.
just trash, cuz.
Wow.
Just kidding.
You just called the professional rapper in our chat trash. Wow.
Dude, this man, he can take it. He can take it. If not, then.
He's a big
Speaking
boy.
of trash, I need to share this because I don't know. I just saw this today.
I thought we were going to introduce another guest. Wait, what?
I wish. Flaud's in bed. We can't introduce him. Where the
Yeah,
hell
what
is
the
this?
fuck?
Oh, you're not
Flaws on
getting
the-
Colin?
I'm a hobby rapper.
Oh, what an excuse.
Highlight that. I'm a hobby rapper. I love
What
that.
the fuck is this?
It's trash.
What is this?
Bruce writing the
What is
damn
this AI?
garbage.
Did somebody AI this?
Dude,
No,
they must have
I
spent
refuse.
like $10 million just on posters. There was like 8 of them released today. It was ridiculous. And yeah, most of them look stupid.
The Johnny
It's
Storm,
not even
like,
intern work.
That's a Photoshop I did when I was like 15.
Yeah, like
This
excluding the fire, the face just looks bad.
Yeah.
I don't
What
think
is
he's the
what-
right
what's
guy.
going
I didn't even
on?
look at the fire.
None
yet.
of the
What
lighting
fuck?
in the picture looks right.
You know what? The fire looks
What's up
like
with,
some
her little
shitty.
Thor glowing.
The fire looks like some shitty paint job some Golo has on their lowrider. You know?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, on a hot
The
rod. out there
Odeon
somewhere.
brush on Procreate.
He got it done by his cousin Pedro.
I feel like
Yeah.
they should have like that S that everyone drew on their paper. when
Yeah,
they're-
oh
it's like
yeah,
the-
Yeah.
The,
The
fire
6
around it.
lines and then connect them.
Yeah.
What is this,
looks-
dude? Whoever they got to do the marketing for Fantastic Four and Superman need to get fucking fired. Both of
He's
them.
pumped up
Like, what are they
Kirby's
doing?
tits a little bit.
See, that's where
There's not that-
I
there's only
didn't
so much to pump
mind.
up.
I
I
don't
didn't
care about
mind
that.
the
It
trailer
looks like
for
shit.
Superman and the posters for it. I guess. Well, the posters I guess I didn't like. Is that what you're talking
Posters
about? The
look like-
posters for
the
Superman?
posters, the ads, the look of the movie, the way it's shot, the way it's lit, everything looks like dick, and I don't want to see that.
Yep.
I think the marketing teams, for the most part, have just gone to shit over the last 10 years. or
Horrible.
so. Yeah, I think that's one of those
us
places that
some
was definitely
style.
targeted. Yeah, targeted by the spirit of the age. So it's definitely one of those places like you can just see there's just I mean, it looks like AI probably made these.
Give me some
Like,
contrast.
Like
Where
the
come on.
the thing is the only good thing about this poster. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what's-
guess
I don't.
by default.
I mean, he looks like a
Yeah.
dickhead, but
The
yeah.
color looks
Yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
washed out. It just looks like a washed out gray ass movie. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. Pump those colors up. Give me some vibrant.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the contrast. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. It needs
Well,
vibrant.
it doesn't even look like he's actually wearing this. It looks like his head.
Yes,
is-
no,
it
it
is.
straight
It's
up,
literally
yes.
photoshopped on.
Yeah, because his
Or
head
AI.
looks way too big for that body.
Yeah, proportions.
Well, it's like it almost looks like they tried to use some kind of weird filter to make it look more retro, and it
Maybe
just
it
made
is
come out
fake.
looking retarded.
Who posted this? Because I see
Screen.
Lorena asking
which-
source here.
Screen time.
Yeah, screen
Screen
time.
time. Screen time.
Is this
I mean,
is this
I
a
don't
is
trust
this a
nobody no
Shad AI painting? Is that what this is?
Shad AI Penny.
It could be a
I've
little
got
column A, column B. You know.
I'll say I've got a bunch of them bookmarked. I can check and see if that's one of the legit ones.
But I wouldn't be surprised because I didn't like any of the official shit either. So,
Yeah.
Mm,
I don't know, man.
no.
I just
like,
don't
do they
like.
not hire people that have eyeballs? Do they not? They
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, the guy's
Oh,
blind.
are they all
Yeah, we're
colorblind?
inclusive
It's
here.
not that. It's that they all tell each other that, oh, it looks great. It's so progressive. It's so
a big
wonderful.
circle
Well, it's like what is
Yeah.
right now? I'd be like, I walk in the studio, the Marvel Studios, be like, what is the most popular thing coming from Marvel right now? The game, Marvel Rivals.
Marvel
and what is
Rivals,
in that
hands
game?
down.
Bright ass colors,
Mhm.
comic book colors. Do that shit. Copy that, or you're fired tomorrow.
It's true.
It's
Oh,
not hard.
Well, yeah, this
So
is.
it is the
It was a
same.
cutout.
This shit
Yeah,
boring.
it's a cutout version of it.
Oh
and that's the
no,
other funny
that looks
part, too,
even
is the-
worse.
It's even worse.
This looks like
they
you know when you'd get an action figure of like Batman or something, it would be like an off costume that didn't appear in the movie. It's like the swimming suit Batman. Like that's what this looks like. It looks like the crappy paint job that would be on the back card of a toy.
Click the other one in the comments there, or the Discover More.
Oh yeah, click that one. Click that one.
Click that one.
Is that better?
That's
better.
That doesn't look bad.
That's better.
That's
That you know what? Because that looks like it's hand like Photoshop painted. Like it's digitally painted by an artist. It's not like a shitty Photoshop.
Yeah, that
I'd
dude is
rather
just
this.
not Johnny Storm. He does not bring the same energy to me. Like
Not at all.
Like
Well, we already know
I
it's
do
gonna
like
be
him,
soy
though.
beta male Johnny.
I know, I do. In Stranger Things, he was awesome. He was awesome in Stranger Things.
Oh, is that homeboy from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
It's Eddie, right?
Oh
Eddie?
shit.
Yeah, it's
That's
Eddie.
Eddie. Yeah, I didn't recognize him without the long hair. I'd see that now. Yeah, that is Eddie. I love Eddie.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Stranger
Yeah.
Things, that's another good thing to touch on because that's I think that's another
Stranger
unfortunate-
45-year-olds.
Right.
Yeah, I quit watching it like
Okay,
after the second season.
So my only thing with that is, and I understand we saw them start out very young, and so we've kind of watched them age up. But am I the only one that remembers like Dawson's Creek from like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they had a bunch of 25-year-olds playing high school students?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not unusual at all.
What year is it in the internal, like in the show? It's got to be like the 90s at this point, right?
Nah, I think it's got to be like 88 or something, right? Because didn't they start in like 82 or something?
They're only separated by like a year or two each. Like I think this is.
I'd prefer this. I prefer that. Go back.
That's a cool poster.
Yeah,
like
I
that's
prefer
a
that,
cool poster.
or I prefer the Big Four. Like do that.
Well, that one feels like the time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that kind of Art Deco, mid-century modern.
The fucking turtleneck though. What are you doing? Like,
I hate that outfit. I hate those outfits. I really do hate those.
He's got anxiety, so they have to kind of like when your dog is going nuts on July 4th, so you put a heavy blanket over him. So
yeah, you got to put it on him so he doesn't lick his own balls.
I'll tell you, they totally fucked up with the Thunderbolts post-credit scene with this. Like, I don't know why they did it, but
good lord,
they show their ship coming in at the very end.
They didn't show them. Oh, it could
I
be
know,
somebody else.
Yeah, right.
Well, and we already know they're changing the ending too, right? Like we already know they're changing the ending. So that I would laugh my ass off if
Of the
Fantastic
movie.
Four.
Yeah,
they've been doing a bunch of reshoots for like the last 3 weeks.
they're doing reshoots for a movie that comes out in 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And they shot that in credit scene 2 weeks before the movie came out for Thunderbolts. So it was like it's a rush job. The whole thing is a rush job.
It's like Doctor Who with Billy Piper all over again.
Bro, none of these people know what the fuck they're doing.
Fuck no,
They're
they
all
don't. They're a
just
bunch of
chasing
fucking
their own
morons.
tails. Yeah, I think it's so funny because it's like all we want, I think as comic book enjoyers, is some authenticity, get close to the comic book in tone and spirit, make the costumes accurate. It ain't hard.
Right.
But they make it hard. I feel like they intentionally do things in the other direction to be like, well, why would we want to do that? That's nerdy.
Yeah, that's just it. Like you hit the nail on the head. It needs to be like close in spirit, right? I've been re-listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, and they're different from the movies. Like, but in spirit, like in order to transfer from something from like a book to the screen, they did a beautiful job at capturing the essence of like the Fellowship of the Ring. Like it was, and the fact that Andy Serkis is the narrator is even better. But like there's huge differences, but they captured, like you said, the essence of it. Where these, it's just like it feels like it's somebody other's like weird pet project, and is like,
what the fuck?
What are you saying?
All the time with him.
Oh my god! Dude.
12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave. It's a Grand Theft Auto set in the 1600.
Bro, you know
Conan
that
and Bell
would be
already do
interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Conan Exiles. Can't you?
Oh yeah,
like, enslave people in my game.
The Thrall
Start off
system.
At Power World, you can capture the humans. Like so.
Someone needs to make a mod so that like in like you could just grow cotton in Conan and they're like more modern.
Cotton tobacco. I'm
That's
sure
awful.
Nexus mods would totally be okay with that. Oh, holy shit. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I think
I'd make him
when it comes
rainbow
back to-
colored.
what you were saying, Garrett, about all of these people, like the way they don't do things, I think what it all ends up coming down to is like ego and narcissism, right? Like these people think they're better than the people that created these stories, that created these characters, and they think they're going to be able to take them and do it in their own direction and that they can actually do it well. The problem is you don't have people that are loyal to the source material. Like it's not rocket science. The comics are literally your storyboard. All you have to do is take them and adapt them and put them on the big screen. You know, it's like they do it in anime and it works out great. And for some reason, these idiots think that if you just take the exact same story from the comics and put it on the screen, for some reason, people aren't going to accept that and people aren't going to enjoy it.
It's literally why the MCU is a thing. We went from the 90s being embarrassed it was a comic book and pretending it wasn't even a comic book.
Yep.
To the 2000s where they were like, okay, it's a comic book, but we're not going to put them in costumes. We're going to put them in leather. Daredevil, fucking X-Men. I'm not going to say Spider-Man because that was on point and that costume's fucking awesome. And then MCU dropped, and then Batman, you know, Batman Dark Knight, it's great and all that stuff. But it was embarrassed to be a comic book. It wanted to be, it's real. It's what if Batman was in real, whatever the fuck. And then we gave
the bat suit nipples?
Yeah. Well, no, that was the 90s.
That was
and then MCU dropped with Iron Man, and it looked like Iron Man. It looked like Captain America. It looked like Thor. He had the fucking winged helmet. He didn't keep it on for very long, but it looked like it. You know, and then people were like, oh shit, this is great. This is awesome that they were doing it true to, and then we somehow got away from that. Then they started introducing these extra detail lines and, you know, the whole Marvel over detailed costume look that they've really hit hard in. And like it's now we're in the era of whatever the fuck is going on right now. And it's like,
well, the big thing that
who's the Thunderbolts? I liked the movie. I enjoyed parts of the movie, but like, what are those costumes? It's gray tactical shit.
Well, the one thing that they're struggling with, and I think that Thunderbolts did okay with, was like, so the MCU and Marvel and a lot of Hollywood stuff is doing this thing where they're trying to humanize villains, where they're trying to say, hey, look, they're people too, and we should feel bad for them. And there's a way to do it. But like the problem is your antagonist is not supposed to be someone divergent from your protagonist in that they took a different path and they're not redeemable. And they're trying to make villains redeemable. Like I said, the Thunderbolts took like some like unlikable people as they tried to make them and humanize them in a very interesting human way. But like, again, this movie fell flat in a sense that like there was no clear like who is the bad guy here. Like they ultimately like sent the what's his name, the Void is, but Sentry. Like it's actually Sentry, and now he doesn't remember anything, and now, you know, so it's a very weird thing. But
well, I think no, go ahead. I don't want.
I was just saying, like, I think the biggest problem is with movies, but also Marvel, is that they try to make all of these villains like relatable and redeemable, and like that's nobody cares about that. We need someone to fight against.
Yeah,
that's why Thanos was such a compelling villain, is because there was no way to redeem him, and we had to fight against the evil.
And probably the worst case of it was Wanda in Multiverse.
Oh my god,
yeah. That show broke me.
Or Wanda heroes fall, become a villain, and they still tell her how great she is for everything that she's doing. And it's like she's trying to kidnap, you know, versions of her own kids that don't exist.
She enslaved thousands of people in a town, an entire town, and locked children in their beds, could not move. This woman enslaved people with her mind, and we're supposed to be like, they'll never know. Fuck you.
Sounds like a Democrat.
Get out of here.
Dude, out of here. Wanda was one of my fucking favorite characters, dude. And when they did that at the end, I was so pissed off.
That's what
that's what literally broke me. I stopped watching Marvel shit after what they did to Wanda because she was one of my favorite characters. And then I heard about everything that happened in Doctor Strange, and I was just like fuck that. Like I literally haven't watched a movie since Endgame outside of Deadpool and Wolverine in the theaters for a Marvel movie since then.
That's what happens when you try and take multiple runs of a character and cram it into one. Like, it doesn't work.
No.
Which is what I've been saying all along. They should have gotten done with the Thanos saga and then said, okay, We're rebooting, recasting, and telling a completely different saga.
Yeah.
All these actors, they've just retired their characters. These characters will be back with new actors, and we're going to do the Phoenix saga or whatever. You know,
that's
all they had to do.
If they did something like that, where they said, look, that was the end game, that we're done there, and we're going to start telling other stuff. And they start telling that for a few years. They start building up another thing in a different world altogether. It's not connected. And then you connect it to the original MCU and you go, oh shit, that's where we're all connected. That would be cool. The way they did it now is they just stumbled for 5-6 years and went, multiverse? No, not that way. Multiverse? Oh no, not that way. Multiverse? Not that way. Like, what the fuck? Where are we? What are we doing? So we've got another multiverse movie after the multiverse saga or whatever the fuck. I don't know what these are called anymore.
But I mean,
now we've got another one.
You introduce a multiverse or time travel, it's already over.
Kill me.
There's no stakes left.
It feels like
you've got to reset it.
I was done so long ago. So
yeah,
so
it's the consequence of using multiverse storytelling.
Yeah,
to cover up for bad film.
If you don't wrap it the fuck up, it needs to be like you use it as like a nuclear option, and then at the end of that, it wraps all kind of like Spider-Man: No Way Home. If they just did that, you need to clean up all of the problems with the first 3 movies, right? With the fact that everybody knows who Spider-Man is, and Spider-Man's been helped by Tony Stark and all these fucking people, and he went to space and he came back and all that shit. You need to clean all that up. So what are we going to do? We're going to make a little multiverse story where Doctor Strange opens up or whatever the fuck. I don't like the scenario how it happened because it made Doctor Strange like an idiot, but yeah. I digress. I like most of the rest of the movie. Yeah, so dumb. But then by the end of the movie, you wrap it all up and you go like, the world is completely different now and it's never going to go back. And then you move on from there and you don't open up that can of worms again. But they kept opening it back up. It's like they started with Endgame by doing, here's different timelines. And then they're like, okay, and here's Loki. Here's all more timelines. And then here's Doctor Strange, here's a different way we have multiverse. And then here's Spider-Man, here's a different way we have multiverse. Like, what are we? I'm so confused, and I don't care about any of it.
The most interesting thing they could have done was found a way to like introduce the TVA through that Loki timeline and like kill him, but at the same time introduce a variant that you could have later to restart everything, because like, okay, this thing exists, but now we're going to take a break, like rehash everything, pick a new like run of whatever, World War Hulk, House of M, whatever, do something fun and then run with it, but instead they're just like, let's just throw a bunch of shit at the wall for a while.
What about the Marvels?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
What about Eternals? You want to see the Eternals? Yeah, that gray slot. Go watch that.
I scream. I love Kirby so much. I screamed so much in those videos talking about Eternals. I'm so glad that movie lost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
Fuck what they did to Jack Kirby's memory. Oh,
it's weird. You never yell.
He'd set that entire. Yeah, I'd never yell. Not ever. That never happens, dude. He would literally come down here and torch that entire fucking studio and everybody involved. Like, oh my God.
It really sucks because like I love comic books and I love superheroes and I'm a huge Batman fan. I kind of want it all to go away. I really kind of like with Star Wars. I want Star Wars to go away. I don't want them to make any more of it. I don't want to ever see it again. I just want Star Wars to be what it was and just to stay there. And it's
3 movies.
It's better that way. It's better in the past because you can't go home again. Every time you do, it gets less and less. So don't do it anymore. Stop trying to make superhero movies. I'm done. And it's like, I love that. I love that stuff, but I would rather it just be put to bed for a little while. Give it 10, 20 years. Yeah. And like move on to something else. Let's go to action movies or let's go to fucking
video game movies.
It's going to be video game movies next.
Garrett, did you hear about Phasmophobia? They're making a Phasmophobia
I did hear about that. I mean, that makes sense. It's just ghosts in a house.
It's just a ghost hunting movie is all it's going to be.
Yeah. They just did that with Until Dawn as well. And nobody talked about that shit.
We need like another like some spiritual successor to like Last Action Hero, like some action satire with like a big action star, just like obviously not Arnold, but like who could play a role like that now? Who's like the action star right now?
Statham's
Aren't they
about the
trying
only
to-
one that's
No,
still
not
around.
not that's 60 years old, but like because Arnold at the time was probably
There's
what
nobody.
40 when he did Last Action Hero.
There's
none of
nobody
the-
right now I can think of.
Not a
I'm-
young one.
I mean,
Pratt,
Pedro
maybe?
Pascal.
Shut
mean,
the
he-
fuck.
Oh, fuck off, King of Powerballs.
Pratt should
Strangle you
probably
through
Yeah,
do
the
it.
straight
obvious
arms,
pick.
I promise you.
He's
the
too
obvious
goofy.
pick.
Chris Pratt, no.
He's too
I
goofy.
think you genuinely, for Last Action Hero, it's a meta movie, so it needs to be something like a superhero movie that's not taken seriously, that is like a commentary on superhero movies, but done better than Deadpool and Wolverine, like story-wise. Something that takes all the tropes of what is super popular, because the reason, like, Last Action Hero, that was early 90s, that was at the end of the 80s action muscle bound guns blazing kind of
Right.
action movie. So it was taking all those tropes and flipping them and then kind of playing with that in that world. So it's like, do that but with superheroes or something.
I guess Tropic Thunder did that. So now we actually
Tropic
need
Thunder did that, yeah.
right.
It was
Now-
a
so we
satire
need-
of Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I think we just need like another reset like that where people like laugh and they realize like, yeah, this is so ridiculous. I mean, Tropic Thunder holds up today still. Like you could watch that.
Blazing Saddles, right? That Blazing Saddles
Oh,
is
yeah.
like a big example of taking a trope that was super popular in a decade before that and satirizing it. So it's like we need to do that with the comic book and be like, look, the comic book movie is all these things and we can make fun of that and move the fuck on. We need to move on. And then we can trickle it back, with some smaller stuff and kind of build back and continue like Westerns still do. But here and there, it doesn't need to take over our entire cultural fucking conversation all
Once
the time.
a decade, you get an Unforgiven, and then you get a
Yeah.
Tombstone.
I'd love for that to be comic books, and every once in a while you get a random take of like Guillermo del Toro's Dark Knight Returns, like something like that, like
man.
random. Give a director an interesting take on a character, and then it doesn't have to be fucking connected, and it doesn't have to be this giant thing. It's just like this take on this work, and we move on. We treat it like an old literature. Like every once in a while we get a Frankenstein, every once in a while we get a Dracula, like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
I
need
think
to be
it's
fucking-
culture's obsession. Like they don't want the story to end. It's got to be binge watching.
Yeah.
Like they have to constantly watch. Don't know the story can't die. We need 14 sequels.
Well, it's content.
Well, and it's not just
Yeah,
that
that's
too.
all it is.
Hollywood is very risk averse by nature, right? Which doesn't sound true to those of us looking from the outside in. But they do what's worked in the past, right? That's why DC is copying Marvel's model of like the whole interconnected universe with their new DC launch as well, because they're number crunchers. They're people behind the scenes pulling all the levers. Are like, hey, this worked. Why don't you do that? Let's just replicate that. That worked, and that also sells to investors, right? Investors are like, oh, well, that worked really well for Marvel. Okay, James Gunn's a popular guy. Like, let's do that in DC. That makes sense. We'll invest money in these movies and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, these studios have to have investors to get these movies to happen, right? Even Disney doesn't finance all of their movies 100% on their own. And so it's that same kind of thing. Is they're going to beat this horse until it's dead, and you see the next big hot trend coming forward, and that's going to be the video game thing. That's going to be the video game adaptations. We're just like we saw a decade, arguably almost 2 decades of superhero movies. You're going to see the exact same thing with video game adaptations. And so it's just that's what Hollywood does. It's like Gary said it a million times. Hollywood is where trends go to die. It was very
Kind of the
popular
inverse
when-
in the late 90s when like all the video games were based off the movies.
Right.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Kind of reversed.
I don't know. I didn't
now.
play a lot of video games based off movies in the 90s.
Well, there was a lot coming
But
out.
I know
Every
there was a lot
movie-
of them made.
Every movie had a game.
Yeah, it's like Harry
Really?
Potter.
Even the
there
freaking
was-
Noid from
Oh yeah.
what Domino's had a freaking
And
Oh,
Domino's,
so
did-
yeah. And the 7
7-Up
Up dot.
spot. Yeah.
I remember the 7-Up spot because that game got given out free with like one of the pizza delivery places or something.
Yeah, Aladdin. Aladdin had
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
game's so good.
Aladdin, hard game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The lava level, good lord,
Yeah, exactly.
kill me, dude.
Good
I
lord.
don't think I ever made it
I've beaten that
far.
game, but like, fuck.
The
That
old
was one of
Super
those ones I
Star Wars,
rented.
Super Empire Strikes Back. Those things
Yeah,
were hard as
impossible.
hell too.
Yep. What's up, Soul Assassin? Oh man, And then to switch, to keep it with Hollywood, the announcement and teaser for Stranger Things final season 5, 3 years after season 4. I just don't know if I care anymore. These kids are like 40 years old, as you said, Garrett. Or it sure seems that way. They're all supposed to be around at this point, I think 18 or 19 years old. Maybe at their
Maybe.
I mean,
oldest.
what? Sadie,
That's pushing
Sadie Sink's 21, 22, right? Isn't that all she
They're all
is?
still
I don't know if
riding
she's much older than
bicycles?
that. Probably.
No, one of them was driving a car. I feel like.
They're like, let's talk on the radios. We
One
got
of the older
cans with a
brothers.
string.
It was the older siblings that were driving cars,
And they also had
not
the
the main
pizza guy.
cast.
The
In
pizza
season
guy.
4, yeah.
Steve or whatever.
Yeah, I think Steve may have been driving. Someone was driving that van, driving Gay
That was
Will
the pizza
around, and
guy.
his buddy. They were looking at each other all weird the whole time. Yeah, I don't. It's just one of those things. I don't understand for a show that has 37 episodes. We've waited 20 years to see the whole thing.
Well,
They needed a
COVID,
Yeah.
Hollywood
Well,
shut down.
Yeah,
Strikes.
Yeah, a lot of
Strikes.
strikes.
Yeah.
And not to
Yeah.
mention the fact that streaming people don't know how to make television properly, so they can't do 20 episodes a year for some
This is
fucking
true.
reason. Even though we've literally done it for, 80 years at this point in television history.
And you
Well,
don't
isn't,
even start season 2 for 2 years because you don't know if you're getting a season 2 because it's not renewed
Yep.
until the end of season 1.
but the release schedule for this season is I think the first episode is on Thanksgiving, and then the next one's on Christmas Eve. It's they're
I
a
think
month.
they do it.
I
Well,
think
they're
they're doing
doing-
it in the chunks. So
Yeah,
it'll be
they're
chunks of
doing the two
episodes
s-
in November, then chunks on
Yeah.
Christmas.
It's the same thing they did with the last season.
Nope.
That's why I
Wait.
do still firmly believe I think Netflix and a lot of the streamers are going to get away from the binge model. I think this is Netflix's way of testing the water. So you can't
Well,
retain people
Bobland
with-
has been fantastic not binge modeling it.
Yep. See, there you go. You just can't retain the churn's too bad. You can't retain customers with the binge model for streaming services. You just can't.
Well, I
mean,
like what
imagine if
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, imagine if HBO Max dropped, all of Game of Thrones season 1 on Sunday, and everybody had the entire episodes. It's are you gonna wait a year to come back and watch it again? Even if it came out every year, a year between something that you you literally watched all in one day.
Me personally,
You know what I mean?
Just me. I don't
Right.
mind that. I like that. I like being able to. I don't like having to wait.
Right.
I'll watch it all, and then I can just because my brain works that way. I can shelve it and then come back to it later.
Yeah.
Some people aren't. You're exactly right. A lot of people aren't
Yeah.
necessarily like that. They'll freaking forget about it, or it's three years too late. It's okay, well,
I don't want to get too existential, but I think Shags already started the show this way. I think we need more pain. We need more pain. When we take pain out of things, oh man, I have to wait a week. It becomes less valuable when you have a show and it comes out on a Sunday and everybody in the country watches it. Everybody in the world watches it on the same night.
same day, yeah.
The same day.
Those were the
Everybody
days.
on Monday, right? Everybody
The
on
old
Monday.
water
What the
cooler
fuck?
talk.
Did you see that? Oh,
Yes.
the red wedding.
Yeah,
Oh my
those
god,
were
it
the
killed
days.
all these people.
Holy
Right? Amazing.
shit.
Right?
Yeah.
When you wait 6 hours in a long line so you could have the first seat. You could pick your own seat at a movie theater at 12:01. That means something.
yeah.
Now it means nothing. Now
Yep.
now watching TV doesn't mean anything.
Well, and I think also
Problem.
making people wait to watch a show. It's okay, this next episode better be good for you guys making me wait a week. Because now, because it's made it really easy to get to go to kind of escape by of having just some okay episodes because you just binge through it. So it's
Mhm.
all right, that episode was bad. Let's go to, but I can get on to the next one. I can forget about that one because we're going to watch the next one. And it's
Yep.
when you have those that time in between, it's if an episode's bad, that really stands out that episode is bad because you have a whole week to think about it before the next episode.
And it just kills conversation because it's okay, I'm watching Stranger Things and I ask you if you're watching it and you're yeah, I'm watching it, but I'm okay, well, I watched the first 4 episodes. Did you watch the 6th where are you watching the first
Right.
episode? Did you
Where
binge
are
the
you
whole
at?
thing? You can't have a conversation about it because you don't want to spoil it for somebody or whatever,
It's also hard to remember what happened in each individual episode if you're watching 9 straight hours of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have the pain and go through the waiting process. So because you build up the anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. Anticipation makes everything better, right? Whether it be food or sex or whatever it is, like you're thinking about it all day. Like you're like,
Sex,
oh man,
what's that?
I'm gonna have these. I'm gonna have poor
Oh,
Shags.
man.
I mean, you're right, Shags. I don't know anything about sex either. I only have 6 kids, so I don't. That never happens around here. But it's one of them situations. Yeah, that's the only guarantee. There you go. I've only had it 6 times. But it's one of those things like you think about that. Like you're gonna have some awesome dinner, right? You're at work all day. You're gonna have this awesome dinner. You know, your wife's got something special planned, or you've got something defrosted that you're gonna cook up, and you're thinking about it all day. And man, when you finally get it done and you finally get a bite into it, oh, it's just so good. Or when you finally get to lick it, it's like, oh, it's so good. I've been thinking about this all day long.
Is that the sex?
Are you
It's the
talking
same
about
thing.
sex? Yeah.
Hey, I thought we were talking about food. Where the fuck did you all go?
I don't know.
But like,
Started talking about
Finally get to
lick
lick
it.
it.
and-
But that's what it is. It's that anticipation, right? That build up
Yeah.
makes the satisfaction so much better. So Garrett's right. You need a little bit of that suffering in order to really enjoy that. And it's
Well, like
not a bad
Mobland,
suffering.
every single week,
Hell
we've
yeah.
just theory crafted the hell out of it. What are they going to do next? Where's it going? What do we think each person's story is going to be? And they actually did a very good job on that show. Unlike, like Landman was pretty predictable. I mean, we kind of knew exactly where everything was going to end up going. Mobland, they've thrown you for loops left and right. I mean, you think everything's going here, and then it just gets twisted completely
Well, that's
around.
Guy Ritchie.
So, but Guy Ritchie really only produced it. I mean,
He
may have
produced it
done
and directed the first 2 episodes, I think.
yeah,
but
and he may have done some work on some touching up some of the scripts, but for the most part, Guy Ritchie was pretty much the producer of it.
dude, that show's so good, man. If you have not watched that show, you should absolutely go watch that show. It makes me feel like back in the day watching Game of Thrones and going, I don't know who's gonna backstab who and where this story's going, but I'm here to watch it. I'm watching
And
the,
Tom
the
Hardy's
house burn.
fantastic.
Have you seen Havoc? Has anybody watched Havoc, the movie on
No, I
Netflix?
wanna
Havoc.
watch it.
Is that the one that just came out like a couple months ago with Tom Hardy?
Yes. It's directed by the same guy that directed the Raid movies.
Mm.
The
Yep,
action
Matt
I've
didn't
movies.
like
heard
it
about
and
it.
talked me out of watching it.
Who talk? Dude, it's crazy. So it's basically think of Gotham City on steroids. He's a homicide cop in this disgusting, crunchy, gritty, corrupt town, city, and there's these like Asian mobs and mob families, and then something happens. And then it just kind of, he gets all embroiled in this whole thing. And the mayor is like, hey, Tom Hardy, you got to find my son. And then then this crazy action pops out of nowhere. And then it turns into a Kung Fu movie. And it's freaking awesome.
Sounds
So
like
you
it
should
could
go
have been the sequel to Dread.
Dude, I was thinking that too, dude. I was like, why is this not Dread?
This is the first I'm hearing about it. Like
You should watch it. Go watch it. It's
yeah.
great. It's not like, Shakespeare storyline. It's just fun action movie.
Oh,
with
action,
Tom
yeah,
Hardy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Popcorn flick.
that trailer
Yeah.
looks just action packed fun.
Dude, the last like 30 minutes is just gunfight and action fight and swords, and it's awesome.
That's Mobland is on my list. I've been watching The Righteous Gemstones, and that's like my show right now with my
I
wife.
need to
It's-
watch that.
Dude, it's just good dumb fun by Danny McBride. Like him, Walton Goggins, and John Goodman. Like they're the 3 best parts of it. Adam Devine's fine.
God
the
bless
chick-
this cocaine.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's the mega church, craziness, and it's a totally over the top comedy. There's like parts where it feels like kind of like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And then the other parts feel like that Danny McBride, like This Is the End or Tropic Thunder type,
Eastbound
like
and
just
Down.
Eastbound and Down. Yeah. Vice Principals, all that.
Feeling
But yeah, if you
it.
like those shows, you would like this show. And I think John Goodman is like really good in this. Really fucking good.
The trailers for that look hilarious.
Is
Oh,
that the
they're great.
Rapture? You guys hearing the Rapture? What is that?
The Rapture.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I
think it might be King.
What?
King?
I think it's the hood in the background coming through.
It's the
Oh.
it's just police sirens going on. But yeah, I
Speaking of
need,
The
I need to check
Rapture,
that out. I need to check that out.
I want to. I have you any of you watched The Leftovers ever?
Leftovers?
I haven't watched it yet. Chad and Matt are obsessed with it. They loved it.
Yeah, it was like, I think it's one of those like last like great HBO shows. Righteous Gemstones is legit. Yeah, dude, it's so good. It's one of those last like really really good HBO shows. I forget the guy's name that was in it. I have to.
Weird. It's almost like we're not on the internet and can't find it.
I know that's. I'm gonna go look for it right now. He was in a lot of stuff around that time. Left.
Justin Theroux.
Unlimited access.
Justin Theroux. Yeah, he plays one of the main guys, or he plays the main character. It was 3 seasons long, and I think it was about the rapture. Essentially, that's what it was about. The people.
He was in a Danny McBride movie. Did you ever see that? He was in Your Highness.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
He's a really funny bad guy. He's actually pretty good.
Okay.
He's like an evil wizard that like I think he kidnaps the princess or whatever the fuck. Whatever the premise is, but he's funny.
I'll tell you, at least there's good video games like that are coming out in 2025. Like,
do you see the
an overload of them?
Dude, so many fucking great games.
A lot of good stuff.
Stacked, man.
Doom.
Garrett, have you played Expedition 33?
I have not. I'm not really a turn-based guy. I don't like turn-based like RPGs all that much. But I've heard people like jizzing all over it. So
amazing.
I've heard it's really good.
It is very good.
Mr. Quarterback Garrett, I don't have the patience for turn-based combat.
Yeah, I'm very important.
Really,
okay,
it really doesn't feel like turn-based though.
It doesn't. Is it more like a modern?
It is turn-based, but it's got quick time events and stuff. It's mostly. I mean, me and you have talked about this before. You're not a big Dark Souls type guy, but yeah. I mean, it's like doing a turn-based, but you're having to execute parries and dodges like in Dark Souls, and it's got the difficulty level of Dark Souls.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Of course, I had to blow through Expedition 33 in a week so that I could get ready for not Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Night Rain.
How y'all been enjoying it?
I love it. It's hard though. We've gotten through the first boss. The problem with it is you can only play it as a single player or a trio.
Yeah,
because everybody has 2 best buds that are constantly available to play with them, not just one person. So I don't know why they left out duos. It was a dumb mistake that they need to fix.
Yeah, I feel like they called themselves out on it. They overlooked it.
They said, "Yeah, we didn't think about that," and it's like, how do you not think about? Well, we could play with 1, 2, or 3 people. If you have the capacity of 3, you would think you could play with the lower capacity. But
yeah,
but the game is fantastic. I mean, it's basically just reused assets, but in a completely different style for Elden Ring.
Isn't that every From Software game?
Yeah, they definitely are doing it. Whatever next project they're going into, we'll see a lot of the features they came up with. The next project is the one that's coming out on the Switch too, and it's another completely different kind of game for them. I think it actually may be a battle royale. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I won't be.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's about.
Yeah, neither can I. When they said Switch 2, I was out.
Yep.
Soul Assassin. It's coming from A24, if I remember correctly. So it could go either way.
That's interesting.
I think it's one of them situations where I think we've got a lot of these so I talked about this during my stream. I think what it is like you see all these old Hollywood studios, right? Like you've got essentially the top 3, right? You got Disney, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, right? Which obviously we know what kind of states they're in. I really do think in like the next 10 years, like all it's going to take is A24 or what's it like Blumhouse, and there's a few of the other ones that I would argue are like essentially AA studios, if you're using like the video game comparison.
The
and
Daily
all I think
Wire.
it's going to take is like the Daily Wire, not so much. That's like a single A. Yeah.
That's like a no A at all.
Lady Ballers, movie of the year.
But I think it's one of them situations where I think all it's going to take is one of those movies adapting something properly to make $1 billion. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to be looking at them as like it might take a while, but like I think you're going to see a shift in the power of the studios in Hollywood at some point, just because of what's going on with some of that stuff. So we'll see how well they pull it off. I hope they do a good job. A24 can be kind of hit or miss, but more often than not, it's hit. More often than not,
if it hits, it hits pretty hard.
Aren't they also the studio that has the rights on Expedition 33? I can't remember which studio it is, but the rights before the game came out, they had already sold the movie rights on that game.
Oh wow.
That was part of the deal for distribution, was that it was also going to be put into a movie.
Gotcha.
Have y'all seen the trailer to the new James Bond game?
No.
Made by IOI?
No.
Yep, looks great. I'm actually excited for it.
IOI has been working on that sucker for a long time, and that is the best company dev team to give a James Bond game to. The people that made Hitman making a James Bond game, you got to.
Oh yeah.
Agent 007, your mission is, perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I mean, only one thing is that M is a woman again, and it's some Indian lady, but whatever.
They did that during the Pierce Brosnan movies, so
yeah,
it
but it
was
was,
all that much.
but it was okay with her because she was like an established actress that was like really had the gravitas to be M.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm
and
not going to
you know
let
why
it harsh my vibe. I'm going to go into it and play it anyways.
Yeah, you know why they added it in. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be a great game. People always talk about like, oh well, this, that, and the other thing. Well, it's like, well, these things can just be red flags. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to necessarily end up bad. It's just kind of one of those things that's a red flag. And you know why they did it, right? You know why they did it. It met their DEI requirements. And as long as it doesn't affect the rest of the game, who fucking cares?
All the previous 007 games that I played, what was it? So there's like Nightfire. I mean, besides GoldenEye, but like there's Nightfire, GoldenEye, Nightfire. What was the other one that came out? There was a couple on like PS1 and PS2, I think, that were just fucking phenomenal. And I remember playing them. What was that?
Was it Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yeah, there was
one out of that
one. And it had a blue cartridge.
Yeah, I barely remember that.
I remember it not being as good as GoldenEye because it was a different dev team that did it.
Yeah, the only one I've ever played was GoldenEye.
Well, and
there was Agent Under Fire,
but it wasn't obviously 007. So
then they did the Daniel Craig reversion of GoldenEye. You remember that game? It came out for the Wii, I think. Where they took all the events of GoldenEye, but then put Daniel Craig and like made it like a modern Bond or whatever. It wasn't very good.
Dumb.
It was like a copy. It was like a cookie cutter first person shooter trash.
Yeah,
it was Agent Under Fire, Nightfire, Everything or Nothing. So Everything or Nothing and Nightfire was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
They did GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which I didn't play. It was a Game Boy Advance one. Oh, from Russia with Love. They had Sean Connery as James Bond in that one.
Sean.
Nice. I don't think I finished it, but I started that one.
I don't think I've played any game other than the GoldenEye games.
Yeah.
But this one looked really good and a good mixture of like.
Sick.
What's that?
This one looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks great. And like the game, if you played Hitman, it's the perfect scenario for a James Bond secret agent, like perfect. And to do like a James Bond story in that is really cool.
Yep.
I just hope the story's fun. Hope the gameplay is awesome. But I've been psyched about this one for a long time.
Yeah, this is
Come on.
We really are in a renaissance of like really good like AA studio games. Like it's one of those things. Like I follow niche. Yeah, I follow Niche Gamer on Twitter, and they're kind of a based gaming studio. Like they talk like they don't like always go after like all the woke stuff. They just talk about regular games they're excited for all the time too. Every once in a while, but they will like when it's an obviously woke game, they'll fucking call it out. But yeah, dude, man, there's so many good indie games. There's like a bunch of mech games that have come out over like the last couple of months, and there's another one coming out next month. A bunch of those look really great. There's some great Gooner games coming out. There's like Turrets and Tits or something like that coming out.
Rise of P is getting its DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that trailer
Gooner
by
games?
accident.
Gooner games.
Yeah, I love that because it got everybody else. So everybody got so fucking riled over on the internet for that one for a little while.
It's always weird to me how Goon became like a I think we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago, but Goon was always it was the hockey term for like guy who fights. So when everyone was talking
an
about
enforcer.
Gooners being like
Oh no shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
now a
there are
Gooner is
even
like
two
someone-
movies called Goon that are. I mean, it's Stifler.
first one's the only one actually. But
What?
Goon,
What about it?
it's the
You didn't like
it's the
two?
only one. That's the other one doesn't count.
Okay.
Well, they just had the brothers. It wasn't even Paul Newman. Paul Newman was made that movie so good.
That was Slapshot.
Wait, that was Slapshot.
Oh, sorry.
Goon is the movie with Stifler.
Yeah.
Oh,
Much,
my
much
bad.
newer.
My bad. I'm getting them mixed up. Sorry.
Wow,
Sorry.
Shags.
I'm getting the better-
Shags.
I was like,
Wow,
what are
Shags.
you talking about?
Sorry.
But yeah,
Shags
that's
gonna
what
keep
the
doing
original
that.
term was a hockey enforcer.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had no idea.
And now it's jacking off forever.
The video games you know, forever. Oh yeah.
Well, no, you know what gooning is for real though, right? Like, oh my god. Okay, so you know what edging is?
Yes.
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 So it's basically just doing that for like a long periods of time.
Yeah.
So
What
like
the
like a
fuck?
lot like days.
What?
Like a gooner will be is a person that stays indoors and does nothing but edge themselves for like days on end.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they try to stay. They try to like, how long can you go?
It's
that's what
yeah.
gooning is.
That's
So
Here, it's
welcome
like I
to the
tried it
internet.
for a week. It wasn't for me.
Wait, wasn't that what's his face was doing in American Pie 2? Fucking what's his name? The
No, that's
The
tantric
geek,
sex.
dude.
Oh,
Like
yeah, the
that's
tantric
Sting.
dude.
Yeah, he was doing
Like Sting
tantric
did.
stuff. Now that's not the same thing.
Isn't that the
You're
same thing?
literally
He was-
jacking your dick until you almost,
No.
and then you don't.
That's what he was talking about.
And then
Tantric sex is
No,
typically
tantric sex
having
is not the
sex
same
for
thing.
hours and hours and hours, but never actually climaxing.
So I guess
until
it's
you're
somewhat,
ready.
but solo.
until you're ready.
Okay,
Right.
I thought he was talking about being
It's
solo.
not going days.
My bad. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He was talking. He learned all the tantric ways so he could please all of the older women.
Yeah, I've really been on the internet too long. I think
Yeah.
maybe it's,
You've gone
I'm
to some
terminal.
dark places on the internet, Garrett, and I've been
terminal.
here since dial-up too. And like, dude.
It's not good.
I see there's a lot of
happens when you
people
get on
getting their
4chan?
Switch 2s. I thought nobody was going to get a Switch 2. Wasn't that the thing? Nintendo's a horrible company and we can't support them, but everyone has
Oh.
a Switch 2 now. What?
Oh,
I don't see the point in getting a Switch 2 until there's more games on the console.
Yeah, why would you ever
Yeah,
fucking do that?
Yeah.
I don't have a Switch 2.
Mario
I
Kart's
just
not worth
I
buying
don't
Switch
play
2.
Nintendo
Yeah.
games anymore. They haven't appealed to me in forever. I like Nintendo after the Super Nintendo and the 64.
That's right.
I just
That's
didn't
right.
care
Weasel.
all that much anymore.
I liked Breath of the Wild and the other
Tears of the
one,
Kingdom.
Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom. Yeah, that was fun. But like none of those games, I'm like, hell yeah, I gotta go buy those games. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm old
They're
and I
not
don't care as much anymore. But I'm
console sellers for me.
yeah.
It wasn't enough to get me to go buy the console to play.
I've only ever bought a
Zelda.
Switch for the kids, and
Yeah.
been like, oh, I'll get this
Yep.
Breath of the Wild, and try that.
No,
It's fun.
I totally got a Switch. I totally got a Switch for Breath of the Wild just so I could play it in HD. I totally did do
It's a
that.
good
my
game. It's a
Switch-
good game, but I
It is.
didn't go out of my
love
way.
those games.
Yeah. When my
Yeah.
Switch falls apart, I'll get the Switch 2, but like and
Yeah.
it's kind of close. Like some of the buttons are a little funky, but they work. You know, my kid doesn't complain enough, and he's the only one who plays it. I bought it for me, and then he started playing the damn thing. So
Yeah.
You're saying the Joy-Cons are not acting correctly?
Oh,
the-
those Joy-Cons.
we actually got the Joy-Cons were fixed. One of the buttons, like the R button, I think is a little funky sometimes. Like if you have to press it a certain way, but it's not like he's playing anything like competitive or anything. Like, he plays Minecraft and stuff, so it's not a big deal.
Sega Game Gear. How many batteries you go through, buddy? You have to.
Dude, so many batteries.
That game was
so many batteries.
The screen was beautiful,
I loved
though.
that thing.
It was
it
beautiful.
was so pretty. It was such a night and day experience going from my Game Boy to that Game Gear too, because I was like, I can play this in the dark in the car.
Oh man, you remember back in the day when you
Instead
had
of
the
waiting
Game
for
Boy
the street
Color?
light.
You had the little light attachment. I remember sitting in the back of the car.
Backlit.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You're
No,
like,
dude,
"Can you
I
see
started
Tetris?
out with
I
the
can."
big. I started out with the big gray brick Game Boy. My fucking cousin gave it to me when I was a kid, and yeah.
You had to
That's
trim it
great.
in the light the correct way to get it to actually have the right contrast to see the games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The good old days. Pain.
Yeah,
You
these
see
kids don't have
pain.
any idea how good they get it. They don't have any idea how good they've got it now.
Having to blow into your Nintendo games to get them to work, even though
Nah,
that
which was
apparently
great.
was the worst thing you could do.
Yeah,
I
of the
call bullshit on that.
yeah, it worked.
It
It
still
definitely worked.
Oh, it
It
fucking
definitely
worked.
worked.
I've blown every single one of my cartridges a million times, and they still work perfectly fine. You just gotta know
I've
how to
heard that
take care of
about
that. You know, you gotta take care of that girl.
Hell, they're all sitting here in the garage getting soaked in nicotine every single day, and they
That's
still
right.
play.
There you go.
You try and sell those, the guy's going to look at it and be like, sir, I'm going to have to
These
peel all the
connectors
nicotine.
are a weird color of orange.
Why do these reek of cigarette smoke?
Oh, man.
That's good times.
Did you guys see that Air Canada had its very first all... Wait, hold on. What is this? All negative 2 SLGBTQIA plus flight.
What the fuck
Dude,
that
don't
means?
What?
Two Spirit. That just reminds me. I wish we had the clip of fucking Trudeau fucking that shit up. I wish we had that clip.
Well,
Oh,
no,
so
I didn't
good.
hear it. This
There
is
is
the first.
There is no way in hell I would get on that flight. There is no fucking way in hell.
We're like all the
Holy
passengers
shit.
gay too. Is that what all the flight crew and everything? Is that what?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all LGBTQ alphabet soup mafia.
Wow. So cool. So I don't know. Whatever.
So progressive. So progressive.
I think we should all completely stop talking about these fucking weirdos. I'm thinking at this point we've crested that hill. We've reached peak talking about LGBT people. They've lost all relevancy. I'm done talking about them. I think that's where I am.
Except the problem is they haven't lost all relevancy in certain places, and like my argument is always shame.
Who
works.
cares?
I do. I care about my culture and I
I'm
care
done.
about the future of the generation.
I don't give a fuck anymore. It doesn't bother me. Go outside. Literally go outside. Does anybody ever bother me with that? No, not literally, not anybody. Never had a problem with it, so I don't care anymore.
But, yeah, the problem is they control a lot of powerful institutions and pull a lot of levers and switches in the world. That's the problem.
Well, yeah.
But to your point though, before Jesse, do they really, like you were saying, like, oh, I don't see everyone with a bunch of tablets in my town. Like how much do they really? I would. I think we've been like, we've certainly been lied to as of how prevalent all. Like, sure, yes, we all know that gay people exist. There's no doubt about it. But to what extent, and like, do they need to be in every single thing that we consume? Probably not. Right? Like,
I think
and I
there's
agree.
definitely some issues at some point. There were, and then we've had issues where the whole girls and the guys in girl sports and stuff and all that. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I
do love that Hegseth announced that we're renaming the warship from the USS Harvey Milk today. A warship named after a PDF that had a job in government.
Wait a minute,
for 11 months before
they're
he was
going
assassinated.
ahead with that. Like they're letting it be named that.
It was already
named
named.
under
It was already
Obama,
named.
and Hegseth
okay,
is saying, "Nope, we're renaming that ship."
So I'm
Okay,
going to
good,
steal
good,
Shane's joke from Normal World Today, but could you imagine getting bombed by Harvey Milk?
No. Oh no!
What a weird
we got sunk by the
warship.
Harvey Milk. We got sunk by the Harvey Milk.
Yeah.
The SS Harvey Milk.
The
Oh,
SS
that sounds
Harvey
so
Milk.
much worse.
Is it a problem
Torpedoes
that
are just painted in
everything?
rainbows.
Is
I
it a
think
problem that
ignoring
everything's?
that's my we should ignore all this shit. Not that we shouldn't like just get rid of it. I think we should just do that. Just rename ships, not address. Just be like, okay, you can do whatever you want to do in San Francisco or whatever. Just go back over there. and we just
keep it in
ignore
San
them.
Francisco.
Just keep it over there. Ignore us.
That would
It's
work.
okay.
We could wall off California, or at least like San
could chip
Francisco.
it off.
And
Chip
Los
it off, you know?
Angeles. Yeah.
Could trigger that.
I mean, I'm sure with like some controlled demolition, we could probably float it off into the sea.
The Hydra would just rise again in the form of Colorado.
Well, and that's the other problem too. It is a Hydra. Like you cut one head off, you think you've won, you think things are getting better, and they'll just come in and sneak in from the back door somewhere else.
Both sides.
I believe that's
why we're
called the
tasked to
devil.
Yeah,
That's why we're
there's
tasked to be
two sides
watchers
to
on the
this.
wall.
Both are correct. It's like people we absolutely need to ignore this crap. The people can't shut up about it either, and make it near impossible to ignore it. And but I have found recently myself, I was talking to Shags about this the other day. It's like taking that break from Twitter and leaving the drama behind and all the behind the scenes crap. It's like, oh, my mental health. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I tell myself every time, it's like, why do I get back into this shit? Just stay away from it.
Yeah, all I want to do is like go live on land and like dig a hole. Can I just dig a hole every day of my life and make enough money to feed my kids? That'd be great. That's all I want to do, really. You know, when you think about it, our caveman brains, all I wanted to do as a kid was dig a hole. I want to get back to there.
I've been watching a lot of Clarkson's Farm, man. And
Oh
I'm
my God, it's so good.
Ready. I'm so ready, dude.
Well,
Like I've been looking into like VA programs for
Me
like
too.
farms and stuff like that. Man.
I'm like, hey, Dad, you're a veteran. Can we get something going? Can we get some land? Let's go.
Well, because my
Get some
mom,
cattle.
as
I'm
soon as
looking
she's
at the
done with-
prices.
As soon as my mom's done with her master's degree, she wants to move down to Texas, and that's what she wants to do. She wants to get a place with a bunch of property, and I'm like, oh, let's
Hell
do
yeah,
this.
there you go.
Start like a VA thing, rehab with like horses and stuff for veterans and shit. That'd be so much fun. I'd love that.
Yeah, I'm like that guy that worked on the what the fuck is it called? I've gotten rid of all my Star Wars information. The Death Star in Rogue One, and he's like, a man with your talents, and he's like, yes, it's a simple life. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I just want to go off
Yeah.
to a fucking
Right.
farm and not ever talk about any of this godforsaken fucking culture war,
Bullshit
politics,
anymore,
bullshit ever
ever.
again. I'm so
Well, this is
goddamn
what-
done with it.
This is what you were saying before about life being challenging. Like it's one of the reasons I didn't want Lonesome Dove to end. Like I read that book. I read the last like 300 pages of that book in about 4 days because it kept reminding me of like what our lives used to be. As like horrible and bad as like every day was, like there was a reason, like a fever
Yeah.
killed people. You know, like a simple wound, like you lost a leg or a limb.
Small
And
cuts.
the your purpose in life like was changed. Like you needed to go each day knowing that it was like, I don't know where my food's coming from. Like I might not eat as much. I don't know if I have clean water coming. Now,
Yeah.
again, do I want people to live like that? No. But like there's a reason that the majority of the US is overweight. You know, we don't take care of ourselves, myself included. Like I'm in this category. Like I'm not talking down to anyone. Like I know I'm part of the problem, but
Fatty.
like you said, like getting out and like, but like learning these things, like how do you take care of cattle, how to farm, all this stuff is like, you would be really smart to learn that, because this is also how you balance technology with that, is like kind of going to those extremes of like growing your own food and taking care of animals.
Chickens.
But yeah,
Yeah.
because you go out there and you have to do it and you have to keep something else alive besides yourself because you become dependent on it. But also like, hey, I want to know the news and I want, but you learn all that stuff is trivial when you have to take care of yourself and your family and your community. Like, again, it's an extreme version of it, but like people can do it and they can return to a sense of like a dependency on yourself and like your homestead, but we rely on everyone else to do things for us, you know, and that's what's hurting us, is we're not willing to go through the growing pains ever.
Yeah.
But it's a huge sacrifice even to ourselves. Like none of us here like want to willingly, you know, be hungry for extended periods of time. Oh no, I'm going to go get some McDonald's because, you know, got to feed
It's
myself.
right down the road.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those other things too. Is like I always argue that everybody should have, you know, a garden or, you know, chickens or something like that. I know not everybody's in a position to do that, but like even if you live in an apartment, you can grow a plant You know what I mean? You can grow some tomato plants. You know, you can grow something like that. Just anything that gives you responsibility. You know what
They
I
have
mean?
those
Like
tower
chickens are
gardens.
great.
Like you can build.
Yeah. Hydroponic systems. Like, hell, I bought hydroponic strawberries at the local HEB yesterday. You know what I mean? So there's like all kinds of great ways to do that. Right? God bless HEB. I love HEB. Here, everything is better indeed. But it's one of them situations where it's like, yeah, you should do that. There's no reason not to. I personally fucking hate lawns. I hate the concept of lawn. I think it's the most despicable thing we've ever done to the fucking amount of our land use. Because literally, people have these giant ass lawns just to mow and go, look how pretty my grass is. Like, you could literally feed your entire family if you fucking put a garden in that yard you're so fucking proud of your damn green grass in, that you spend every fucking Saturday 8 hours of your life manicuring that motherfucker and trimming it and growing it and everything else. You could literally spend that exact same amount of time growing food and actually be able to feed your family instead of having a giant fucking lawn out in your front yard that looks just so pretty.
I have to say,
Hank Hill is crying right now.
I do enjoy mowing my lawn, though. It is. I enjoy getting out
I like
there.
the smell of it.
Yeah, and trimming it first.
Nice.
I hate that.
I fucking hate mowing my lawn.
But I agree with you.
I get all the fucking fibers in your eyeballs and I'm all itchy and shit.
Wear glasses, dummy.
Fucking sweaty, nasty.
Wear glasses.
Wear glasses.
I got
Probably like
safety
sunglasses. You
I
don't get
wear.
the shit in your.
I wear some goggles, some swimming goggles.
Be a real man. Don't
Gotta get
wear
you a fucking
glasses.
helmet, steel toe
Be a man.
boots. Just mow naked. What are you wrong? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
just
Let
get
all
really up in
the
there.
get all the
Let us all
dust.
hang out. Well, and look at it this way: you'll get a great tan when you're over with. It'll just be spotty because of all like the little grass clippings all over you.
But the thing is, too, about like lawns, it's another thing. Like people, like I agree. I think people should grow their own food. Like make yourself some boxes, and you know, with all that space, you could learn to feed yourself. I get that 100%. But if people also, you know, took care of their own lawn, that's exercise outside. That's time. You don't have to go to the gym. You're walking around, you know, in the sun, getting all hot and sweaty and lifting stuff, and people don't do it. It's an easy way to stay active. People
Cub Cadet.
So is
zero
gardening.
turn. I'm not push mowing anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
don't be a bitch. Come on.
I'm gonna hop up on one of those.
Self-propelled. I got self-propelled.
I mean, that 9-week growing season here in Colorado is a ton of exercise for the year.
Exercise, riding on my Cub Cadet, zero turn.
Those are sweet. When I was mowing lawns for people, we had one of those, and it was like the best. You're mowing lawns
so
at
cool.
20 miles an hour. It's great.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, if I had one of those and I had a yard big enough to justify it, it probably wouldn't be so bad mowing the lawn. But yeah. No.
And then like taking care of your own chick. Oh man, the eggs, they taste so much better.
Oh yeah, dude. Our
I
eggs
wish I
at the
could have
house taste so
chickens.
much better.
I hate cleaning the freaking chicken house. So we used to do
Yeah.
it like years ago.
I gotta do
but-
that Saturday.
Oh, on the last few years we moved back to the country, like right outside the county. I meant the city, but nobody feels like doing the chicken pen anymore. So it's like, well, I mean, there's tons of people around that do they have their own chickens, and it's like, so we just get from whoever offers. But when we do, man, it's night and day, the difference from what you buy from the store and then what you get fresh.
100%. And it feels so much more satisfying too. Like, especially if you're raising them yourself and stuff like that too. It's like, hey, I've been busting my ass feeding these chickens. I I go out there and scratch them every morning, clean out their fucking coop, take care of them. I've been nursing one of them back to health the last freaking week. You know what I mean? It's like, that's there's a satisfaction that they taste so much better. Yard bird is
Occasionally
the
take
way
a
to
couple
go.
of the eggs out there with a measuring cup, crack the eggs into the measuring cup just to give them a warning. Stay in line.
Yeah, exactly.
Know who's boss.
Beat the
chicken.
eggs up a little
That's
bit,
fucked
go
up.
inside and make a scrambled egg. Yeah.
The funny part about that is if they're sick, one of the best things you can actually make for them is scramble their own eggs and eat and feed it to them, because all the nutrients that are in the eggs will actually make them feel better.
Well, there's not actual chickens in the eggs. It's just the
No, it's just all the
it's just the
nutrients
eggs.
and everything else.
Just the egg. Yeah.
Unless you're eating blue.
Yeah.
I like to
It's
take
like
some
all of us
brown
trying to
chicken.
convince our wives that a certain thing that we make actually is good for your skin.
Well, that's true. That's true. I don't know what you're saying. convinced.
It's also great for your throat if you've got a sore throat.
That's
it's great
true.
For that you got an
It's
upset
great if
stomach,
your
it'll help
lips
settle
if your
that.
lips are cracked a little bit,
lips.
chapped lips, that fix that as well.
Amino
How the
acids,
fuck do you know that?
peptides, all the stuff.
That's because that's what I tell my wife all the time.
That's what you have to tell them.
That's right. That's what you got to tell them. What's wrong with you, Shags? You got to tell them that.
Oh, yeah.
They'll believe you. You just got to come up with some BS scientific study from some reputable source.
Fact check, they won't believe you.
Right, yeah.
Fact check, they won't fact. No, fact check it, they won't fact check. What are you talking about? They're women. Come on now.
I saw they're making another Dexter series. What?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
So okay, so I've actually heard really good things about the Dexter prequel series that they did. And so like I've had guys in my chat that watch it and they said it's actually really good because the main character, Dexter, actually like narrates the whole thing. So it's literally the whole point of it was supposed to be it's like the flash before you see your life flash before your eyes. So that's what it was supposed to be. And then at the end of the series, he wakes up, and so now he's supposed to be in a new town and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I heard really bad things when they tried to revive it, so we'll see what happens with this one. But I love the story. I like the character, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust him, and I'm not going to go out of my way to get Showtime just to watch it either. So.
Oh yeah, what happened about that dude? Freaking!
Oh yeah, he got in a
King
fight
of the
with his
Hill
neighbor.
actor.
Yeah, he got into a fight with his neighbor.
Yeah, the guy who played John Redcorn.
This is a whole weird story too, because at first it just sounded like there was some scuffle, and then it was people were taking it and trying to make it an LGBT hate crime, and then it came out that he was actually like kind of not all there.
He's been insane for 40 years and being an asshole.
So it's like, yeah, too many people. That's the problem with the fucking internet. People jump on these stories and start going, "Oh yeah, it's this. It's obviously a hate crime with blah blah." Just fucking wait. There might just fucking maybe there might be a little bit more context.
Sometimes your neighbor's a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
No shit. I got one of those.
A dick or a neighbor?
Oh, yeah.
Both.
It happens.
The neighbor has a dick.
Yeah, good neighbor has a dick.
Hey, Cash Kester with the 5 gifted membership. Thanks, brother.
That's
Appreciate you,
$25. Hell yeah! Shout out, Cash. Shout out.
I can't. I didn't look into that whole thing very much. But so did it end up being that? So the first I saw was
it's still going. Yeah, it's still ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still.
It's still just a whole bunch of conjecture from a whole bunch of people online.
Yeah.
Yep.
As per usual. We'll probably
and people
never have
taking
the full
sides
truth
on something
because-
that means nothing. It's like,
Right.
Is that personally something that hurt you personally? Why are you taking such a stance on it? Sit down, maybe.
I
Chill
was
out.
still pissed at him for sleeping with Dale's wife.
You know what? Yes.
Oh man, I need to go back and rewatch that series.
I love that show.
That's a good show.
Well, the reboot is coming soon, I think.
It is.
Yes.
Reboot / continuation, I guess.
Since
it's
it's
more
Mike
of a
Judge.
revival than a
I'm looking
reboot.
forward to it because it's Mike Judge. Yeah,
Mike Judge, because the Beavis and Butthead revival was actually pretty good.
it actually was.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That fire
I enjoyed
episode. Fire. Fire.
Hell yeah.
I have chosen you as my ambassador. Fire. Yeah, it's awesome. That was a funny
The
show.
first episode where they were watching the video for WAP.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
So good. Yeah, Mike Judge is
Oh, that's
fucking goated. He's so good.
Well, good. Well, hopefully then that means that it'll end up being pretty good then. I hope so. I want it to be good. I always want these things to be good. It just doesn't generally ever pan out that way sometimes. So we'll see what happens.
King of the Hills
we've
was
seen-
like staple. It was a staple in my house because it's like Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
Like 30 minutes away from us or whatever at the time. So it just felt like it was like, oh, you understand North Texas really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially the propane and the lawn.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Propane.
All the
propane,
characters,
sesame.
yeah, very on point. And there's not a whole lot of like media that focuses on Texas to that like modern day Texas to that level. And it was like all the characters, I know somebody like that.
Well, and that was the best part. All the characters were relatable. That's exactly what I was going to say, Quarter Black Garrett, because you know somebody who's just like that.
Like Boomhauer, like 100%. 100%.
Dude,
everybody
I
knows
know
what Boomhauer.
No
All the way
bullshit.
down to the Asian neighbors.
Dude, but like no bullshit. I had a Boomhauer in my shop in the Air Force. Like he came from the sticks of Tennessee. And like those first few months of him at the shop, you could not understand a fucking thing that came out of that kid's mouth, man. It took about a year and it finally started to weigh off. But yeah, it was. They're like, what? Shit was fucking great. Oh my god.
I just like seeing myself on TV. You know, I don't see myself on screen enough. I really
That's
need
right.
that.
There
That's what I
aren't enough
mean.
quarter black.
Now you feel
Not
seen
enough
on
quarter
the
black
show.
North Texans out there.
That's right. There's not. There's not. Oh my god. That is so.
Are any of you looking forward to this Wes Anderson movie that's coming out?
I'm gonna
Yes,
check it
Friday?
out. I like Wes Anderson.
I like all this stuff.
I like the concept of Wes Anderson. I don't know if I've actually ever seen his stuff. The trailers and things always look really cool. I like the idea that what was that last movie he did, with everybody in it. The one
Everyone's
with
always
the
in his
little-
movies.
meteor crater thing. It was like something about a meteor.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the one that had Scarlett Johansson in it. And
I have not
a
seen
bunch
that
of
one.
people. It looks
that
a
one I
lot of
didn't
fun.
see.
I want to see that. I wanted to see that one. I haven't
The
seen
last
it.
one I
Speaking of
saw
a
was
Texas
the
boy.
hotel one.
Oh,
The
shit.
Grand Budapest.
Oh,
Hotel.
yeah.
Budapest.
That movie is great.
I think that's the only one of his I've seen.
Oh my
It's a
god,
great
dude!
movie.
They're so
Fantastic.
The only
Mr.
one I've ever
Fox.
liked is Royal Tenenbaums.
Royal Tannenbaums. Fucking
Yeah.
Wasn't Bottle
Life
Rocket
Aquatic?
his
Yeah,
too?
Bottle Rocket was like
Yeah.
the
Bottle
first
Rocket was
big
his.
one.
That was his first one.
Yeah, you got to watch every movie. Dude. Watch them.
Every one of them.
Steve Zissou, the Life Aquatic is probably. I would say that's.
I love
like,
that movie.
It's very underappreciated. It's one of his best, I
Yeah.
think.
Easily, yeah. Easily is my favorite movie of his.
But Royal Tenenbaums is great. Like all of it, they're just quirky, strange. Rushmore, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish he would he's gone too far into the Wes Anderson quirkiness. I wish he would kind of come back a little bit more to like the Royal Tenenbaums, like that's quirky but not ridiculously in his Wes Anderson-iness. Like make a real movie but with a little bit of your style again. Kind of go
What
back
was the
to
one
that.
with the scouts?
Moonrise Kingdom, I think.
Yeah, I didn't love that one, but it was still cool. And then the Darjeeling Limited was really good too. I like that one. But yeah, like that one is really weird.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, I like that one though. I thought that
was really good.
Everybody ready for the ballerina tomorrow too?
Nah.
Nah.
I hope it does better than box office predictions.
Oh man, I gotta watch that. Maybe I gotta watch that for F&T.
I'm pretty sure
You're
you
gonna
gotta
have to watch that one.
Son of a bitch.
They did the word around the street was that they did do a bunch of reshoots to make it more action heavy. So
They did
we'll
a
see
bunch
how that
more
works.
reshoots to get Keanu more in it, I think.
Oh yeah, that the trailer looks like. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the 3 minutes that he's in it.
Yeah.
Well, or they put him in more because it was testing low.
Because the test screening was not going well.
Yeah.
Oh, he froze.
Oh,
that was the
Shagsworth.
first time.
Yay.
Was that the first time to
the
stream?
First time all night.
First time all night.
3 hours
He-
in.
Wow.
He froze earlier when he was solo.
Oh, maybe he'll get better internet in Hawaii.
Probably not. Probably be on
Yeah.
Starlink.
Let's go into the middle of nowhere in the ocean. Get
DSL.
Dude, you want to hear? So I'm not 100% sure, but this property I'm looking at getting out there it's like 5 acres. We're renting.
nice.
We're renting. We can't buy. But it's like 5 acres, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and it's like fenced in for the dog, and which is great.
Yeah.
But the lady just told me yesterday that there's like a lava tube on the property that your
shit.
kids will love it. You just go in there with a headlamp and you can walk back in there. I was like, holy fuck, I want to
What?
go in there. Fuck my
That's
kids.
awesome.
Like,
We fucking
Wow.
fuck the kids. Yeah, fuck the kids. I want to
Yeah.
go.
no, they'll like it. But yeah, no, I thought because she didn't advertise it, but then I was talking to her about like the whole situation about us moving, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like you'll like the kids, they would think that's cool because they're young, and just give them like a little headlamp light or a flashlight, and you could see in there." Lava tubes are cool. I don't know if anyone's ever like gone into one, but
I wouldn't
Like,
give them a
I'd-
headlamp. I would probably give them a tablet and tell them to turn on the flashlight.
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, exactly. The best way.
Best of both worlds, Shags. They get the
Yeah.
tablet
Wait,
and they get outdoor experience.
No
we
way.
brought it back full circle. The nice part is at least they wouldn't get any internet service inside the lava tube. So
Well, that's
they'd only
true.
be using it for
It's
a
true.
flashlight. So
But yeah, where we're living is like super remote. I don't think they have like any like high speed internet access. Like you have to get the you have to either get
Starlink
Starlink or you have to get the like T-Mobile like hotspot or whatever. Which
I've heard
honestly,
Starlink is pretty good though.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm actually really looking forward to like the YouTube internet detox. Like I need some time away, like because there's just things that I want to work on and I don't want to be like distracted by other stuff. And this will be the perfect time to do it. Especially because I have to go before my family. Like they can't. I have to go June 27th. They're not going to get there until end of August. So I have like time to just like focus everything, work, train, and then do that.
Yeah,
So.
I think I'm just gonna every now and then when I'm on a stream, just randomly call you and put it on speakerphone so that you can hear us streaming and ruin your detoxification.
Exactly.
I love that idea, Brahma. Do it. Do it.
It'll be good because I'll probably I don't know. It's just not like I'm not taking my setup. I'm trying to sell this whole setup and just get a nice laptop that I can use, do things remotely and not have to worry about a big tower. Not for a while, like I could still do the things I want to do, but not have to worry about all the things. So,
Studio.
yeah, it's just, I mean, times have changed. I mean, you don't need like a big giant setup anymore. You can have a high quality system and stream without all the
Yeah,
like
you can
3
just
monitors.
invest in bottles of liquor and it's perfectly fine.
Exactly. So
Why spend money on getting a green screen and all that when all you need is a whole bunch of bottles of bourbon?
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drink myself silly for the first couple months for my
There
family
you
and put
go.
all the bottles behind me. I'll take up a smoking habit again, and we'll be good.
Paradise.
And then you get to change your background constantly because you got to buy new bottles.
Maybe I'll set up my system in the lava tube. It'll be perfect acoustics,
Whoa, that's a great background.
right?
Thought we
Like,
just
oh, it's all
determined you have
natural.
no internet in there.
Well, he could.
Run the cable out. I don't know.
You wouldn't run a cable
You would-
for the last
exactly.
2 years in your
We've been
house.
begging you.
All right.
Now you're going to run one to a lava tube?
Yes.
Yeah, he still needs he needs to get the fix of talking to a camera, so he doesn't need to be connected to the internet. He just talk to nothing, pretend it's the internet.
That's true. That's right.
Shags, who's constantly telling us to touch grass, is just going to spend all of his time in Hawaii touching lava tube.
Yeah.
Screw the grass, pumice. That's where it's
Yeah.
at.
Rocks. Igneous rocks. Oh man. Okay, one last question for everyone. Is this white Black Panther real, or is this what is?
Excuse me, what?
Oh, I saw that like on X,
It's-
like pass by real quick. And I was like, what?
I keep
What is
seeing.
it?
I
it's in
ignored
the-
it.
Yes,
I think it's
yes,
a comic
it is
book that
100%
they're making that is a white
yes,
Black
it's
Panther.
It already came out. It's the son of T'Challa. He's a white dude, and he just kicked his dad's ass and became king of Wakanda. It's 100% legit. I did a video over it. Today. It's
Wow.
fucking great. They have made the Ryan Gosling meme fucking real in Marvel Comics. And I don't know who the hell approved that shit, but somebody inside of Marvel Comics has got some really big brass fucking balls, man.
Is this so they can finally, or they can say it's like, hey, see, we race swap black people too? Is that the whole point of this?
Kind of seems like that would be a motive.
He's a white guy.
The token White Panther.
Yeah.
I'm
Quarter
looking at
white
it right
Panther.
now.
Yep.
They're
It just feels like
desperate, man.
it's an excuse for them to continue race swapping characters.
Wakanda in white and black. That's what it's called.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, pour some more.
Yeah. Time for some Saz.
Oh, Sazerac.
I mean, I might go
nice.
check it out. Marvel Knights.
A big
okay.
one.
Go see
Marvel.
what they do
That's
here.
the fighter, right?
No, Marvel Knights is their like the brand that they release their more edgy stuff on.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what they did all the Punisher and like Ghost Rider stories and whatnot. Marvel Knights.
So Marvel Knights is supposed to essentially be set. It's set on the 616, but it's supposed to be near future, is what this is. So you could argue that it's kind of an Elseworld story. But there was an interview with one of the creators. He was saying that was one of the nice part about it is they can do whatever they want. And it's not technically a race swapped Black Panther because it's not like they're making a white T'Challa. This is just a black guy hooking up with a white chick that we don't know about yet and having a baby.
That's right. We need that. We need that mixed representation.
There are so many levels. I might still have the
Cracker
article.
Panther. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Dude, like I said, they made the Ryan Gosling meme real, and it's just so. Yeah, you guys have got to see this. This is freaking great.
Honky Panther.
Honky Panther.
Yeah. Well, and I think what it is, and like if you read the actual panel where everything kind of happens to, it almost seems like this is going to end up being one of them situations where they're probably going to end up making him the bad guy. But yeah, this is literally your new king of Wakanda. Is let me see here if I can pull this up here.
We'll show you how bad things really get when the white man's in charge.
Well, and it's like, and one of the things that they're talking about is how like one of the basically T'Challa's making it to where the people can't be free; they have to live under his totalitarian rule, and yada yada yada.
I can't wait till he goes up against the villain Snow Monkey. That'd be great.
I can't wait till they give him a nickname like Quarter Black Panther.
Yeah. That's my people right there.
I saw an interesting video. I think it was on TikTok.
Do you feel seen now?
Yesterday, it was explaining how shitty. Well, they're talking about how shitty the movie Black Panther was for the reason that it was supposed to be like a technologically advanced African country not touched by colonialism, but yet they
refuse to help the rest of the Africans in any way.
Well, that, but also their ships and stuff, where their engines look like subwoofers and loud stereos and shit.
The way to get into Wakanda was literally a fucking. It's like a DJ turntable with some drums.
Yeah, and I just thought
it could not have been.
Wow,
dude,
this Donkey Kong.
Well, Garrett, think about this. This is how you know white people are writing black people stories. Right? That's exactly what it fucking is.
Go get the DJ up. I need to go outside.
We also talk about the fact that the shield doesn't go under the water, so it's because they didn't think anybody would swim under the water to get into Wakanda.
Oh,
I never thought about drilling a tunnel. You guys never expected anything like that. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was sad. Soul Assassin. Remembers when they tried to buy plane tickets to Wakanda?
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's it's just sad. It is so sad.
Find some people on TikTok. They believe it. They believe it's real.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
That's our secret history, man. They don't want you to know. The white man don't want you to know. That's our real history. We were kings. We were kings,
well,
man.
We were
Wakanda forever.
We were
Kings.
Yeah, we were kings. That's right. Cleopatra was black because my grandma told me so.
Yeah, there
don't
were
believe
black
what
kings.
they tell you in school.
There were black kings, and they sold your ass to slavers.
Slavers.
Yep.
You remember that?
Including the female one. Including the female king.
Yeah. That they conveniently don't want to talk about.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk about all that. They didn't want to talk about that.
It was
or how 90% of her forces got slaughtered in their very first battle. Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
It always made me laugh too, when the subject of slavery and stuff came up and how America's bad and everything, and it was well, but white people in Europe were the first to get rid of it, and then the U.S. majority white then got rid of it. We can't be all that bad, can we?
It's original sin. You can never get rid of it. You can never get rid of it. And every single culture has been enslaved at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And
white, black,
and
purple,
enslaved
fucking
people.
and enslaved people. So ain't nobody clean around here.
Nope, not a single.
Well,
that's why we should stop talking about it and move the fuck on.
True.
Oh yeah. Well, and they won't because the
style.
grifters are always going to bring it up. Yeah. Oh, I love that quote from Morgan Freeman. I love that one. Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about
I don't refer to you as a. I don't refer
I'm
to
an
you
American.
as a Jewish man. Don't refer to me as a black man. Yeah.
That
I'm
really was
enslaved
the-
currently with cheeks.
That really was the stupidest time period though, where they
the
tried to do
timing.
the African American thing.
Dude, did you see the
impeccable.
title for? Did you see the title for Camelot's fucking stream tonight? He was like re-downloading Tinder and updates from Con Drama.
Oh my god.
What?
Re-downloading Tinder. Yeah, him and his
Oh my
old lady
God.
just broke up. Oh man, yeah, he found out she was screwing around on him. So
Messed up.
yeah.
Oh, that's,
Who the hell would screw? I mean,
that's trash.
Camelot's like a fucking specimen of like the male embodiment. Like what the?
He's a race
you
car
could-
driver.
what the- Right,
That's
where
cool.
the fuck
Yeah,
are you
I
gonna
don't
move
understand
up? You can't level up from that. Like unless you're gonna go fucking bang some Hollywood star or some shit. Like what the fuck? I don't know. Women are stupid.
Camelot, I'll love you.
Speaking of
That's
coming
right.
full circle,
All night long.
that's why that all-woman panel is a bad idea. It's gonna be bad idea.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. All over again. Oh, Weasel. He's pretty, but I'm already married, and I like babies. I like babies.
Oh,
Sounded a lot worse than I think you meant it to.
Probably, I guess. What the fuck, y'all? The internet is corrupted, y'all fuckers. I'll tell you right now. I was trying to talk about food
really has.
earlier, and
You
everything
kept
went.
saying
Talking about
dark,
Goody.
and,
Lick
like- I said that one time, and I was talking about food. You don't ever like lick an ice cream cone or something?
I don't know.
Come
You
on.
you said lick.
The way
you
you
said
said it.
sex before, and then you said, "Oh man, I can't wait to lick it" or whatever. It just
It was
And I have
like
never
that.
made dinner and said, I'm gonna lick this now.
yeah. I've never thought I want to lick my food.
He comes up with the one example.
And he-
Like an
he's
ice
trying to-
cream cone.
He's trying to say like we're the weird ones. What the fuck?
I got 6 kids. I might have a little bit of a drive. Okay, my
You
mind
gotta
might
lick
go
it like a
places all the time.
lollipop. You know, you guys eat
Oh,
lollipops,
my
right?
God.
For dinner,
Right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
For dinner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how you eat a cucumber, but
I don't,
don't.
lick it.
I ain't gay. I don't
that
eat
fucking
bananas.
Pedro Pascal, that fucking rap fucking party video from him from Last of Us. Holy fucking shit, dude.
I don't know.
Oh,
Let people
no,
be
we-
weird.
Bad.
We can't go
It can
back
be
to the
weird,
rainbow
come on.
stick. It's been 2 weeks of it.
Dude, I know it was great though.
The
I
rainbow
was
stick?
so- I was so
Oh,
bad for
Yeah,
it.
you know when
I was gonna say
Pedro
you
licked
didn't
that
see
stick.
that? Yeah, Pedro.
Now
licked
all
the
I see on my
rainbow stick.
timeline is that video of the dude who played Kylo Ren, whatever the
Oh,
new
dude,
Star Wars-
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Fuck, what is that guy's name? I can't remember. But yeah, like it's
Adam
scene
Driver.
from-
Adam
Yeah.
Driver.
yeah, the scene from Girls over and over and over, and it's like, yeah, it's a horrible scene, and the people that wrote it,
And
are
it's not even
horrible fucking
new.
demon
It's like-
people. It's like 20, it's like 10 years old or something. Yeah, it's dude, it's the
haven't
same
heard about
fucking
this.
thing where something happens a few years ago and it comes back and it happens today. People get outraged and then they talk about it, and then it happens again the next year, and then people get outraged again. It's just like recycled garbage that people get outraged about. It's like I already got outraged about this 5 years ago when the fucking clip came out.
Yeah, that's
Have
always
you
the
seen
best
it?
part.
So-
It's like you guys are all.
And it's the same talking
That came out
points,
2
too.
years ago.
It's the same, yeah. So it's the
The
same
same
people
exact fucking
like me that goes, "Oh, that's fucked up," and then you got to say something, and then somebody go, "Well, no, it's not fucked up. She has the right to abort babies whenever she wants to," and then fight, engagement, fight. Yay! I want to just
Am
go.
I the only one that
I wanna-
goes onto Twitter just to resource gather and look at like videos of happy animals and stuff? Like,
You know, you got a good
Lately,
time.
I haven't
I don't know
been
how you
doing
do
that.
that.
dude, I'll tell you what, you got to curate it, man. It's all about what you
I do
curate.
Christian,
And don't
like,
use the
yeah,
For You tab. Use the following tab.
I
Like,
love the
use
For
that.
You tab.
I,
That's
yeah,
I
like
follow a lot
all-
of retards as well. So you know.
All the stuff for
Oh,
my
wow.
Sunday political show is definitely the For You tab because it's all Brooklyn Dad Defiant, JoJo
Oh,
from
fuck.
Jersey.
you
My
fucking
For You is so
masochist.
screwed. It's that.
No shit.
And then it's just clips of hockey for my Saturday night show. So all I'm doing is going through bookmark to hockey, bookmark to politics, bookmark to
Yeah.
hockey, bookmark to politics.
I'm trying
Did
to
I
make
let
my timeline as retarded as possible. I think I just the most random, out of context, retarded posts I want those. I don't want politics. I don't want people whining. I just want weird.
Well, I mean, if that's
random
what you're
shit.
trying to do,
all
I
about
would
what
just
you
ring the
like.
bell on Shags so you get all of his posts and it goes completely retarded real quick.
Oh, yeah.
My posts are the best and they're insightful. Everyone else are retards.
Spoken like a true internet warrior.
There you go.
I've been very liberal
I know.
with the mute button recently. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have more,
I did what
probably
Adam
have more
did.
people on the blacklist on the block list than I do on the friends list.
I don't block anybody. The only
That is
people I
funny.
block are fucking ads that come on too many times and I'm tired of seeing them, and people that
Yeah.
block me. If you block me, I block you. I go find you and I go block your ass. Because I'm not
I
going to
will
let you
quickly-
unblock me and then come fucking look at me later. No, you're getting blocked as well.
Yeah, I will quickly tell somebody to return to their vomit and block
Yeah.
them. Like
But I
used
will
to,
mute
I used
people.
to not like. I used to just mute for a little bit and then go back, and nah, I just got to where I just stopped caring because people are too
Garrett's like,
retarded.
I have a very particular set of friends. I
Yes.
will find you and I will block you.
And I will block your ass.
Well, I guess, man, I just don't. It's so funny. I guess I just don't engage enough on Twitter to have to deal with any of this. It's kind of wild.
well, you also just got a
I
new
think
account, so that's probably why it's.
Well,
been-
yeah, but even on the old account, like I never,
Fresh.
I never dealt with any of this nonsense. Yeah.
I've been
Well, yeah,
I've been
it's all-
on Twitter for a long time, and I've been in a lot of different spheres of influence, and
That's true.
it's created a weird algorithm, I think, for my timeline. It's like nothing but politics all the time, every day, every single day. No.
What I hate about Twitter though is that you can't like clear it. Like on YouTube, if your
Yeah,
algorithm
man.
starts to get all screwed, you can
Yeah,
just
you can
clear
do-
your watch history,
Yep.
and then it goes back to just what you've subbed to.
Oh,
Twitter,
really? I had no idea.
there is no
Yeah.
real reset.
You have to go
I mean-
unfollow people. I think that is the thing, is like when you find something that you're like, why is this in my timeline? Most of the time, and sometimes it's just the algorithm, but most of the time it'll say that it was somebody that you follow or somebody that interacts with you.
Yeah, like you go
liked
follow
it.
one of Chrissy Mayer's guests and then find out that they're an OnlyFans person, and now you've got OnlyFans ads all over your freaking Twitter
See, that's
timeline
where you
because
went
you
wrong.
followed one person.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
where you
That's
went
where you
wrong.
follow
Chrissy.
anybody Chrissy has on her show. That's why.
Apparently.
But yeah, and this is one of the things that I was going to bring up too. Like, honestly, I've noticed, like, depending on what you like, I have noticed a serious shift in my timeline. Depending on if I go through and only intentionally like certain things, those things will start showing up in my timeline a lot. So it's all about what you're liking and reposting. So like puppy videos, don't like politics things.
Yeah.
By the way-
Adam was like, I'm gonna unfollow everybody that I don't want to, because I don't want to get all this politics stuff. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I started doing that as well.
I made the cut, but all
Yeah.
I do is politics on Twitter. So
Well, yeah, 'cause you're a bro. Okay, I keep the bros. I get everybody else out of there.
no, I made the cut with Krigler on the politics stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
I accidentally followed a porn star on Instagram, not realizing it was just a
I'm
girl
sure
who
it
had
was
like
accident.
long dreadlocks, similar to like my wife. She looked like my wife. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And she was doing like farming stuff. And then I don't know. She posted a picture with
That's
another
her day
woman.
job.
What's that?
That must be her day job.
I don't know. I checked.
Overalls
Hey,
with
farmers
nothing
need love
underneath
too,
out
man.
there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize what, and then I like saw a picture of her with someone else, and I was like, who's this person? And then I like clicked on that other person. I'm like, wow, that account is all right. Now I see what's going on here.
like tomatoes, potatoes, ass. Okay.
Eating a tomato out of an ass. Oh God. This is the wrong
I
word
think
to
I'm
use.
gonna
Where's
lick
ass?
my dinner tonight.
I'm anticipating. You lick.
I will say though, on Twitter, if you do pay for the check mark, the best thing that being able to put your bookmarks into separate folders
Oh,
is
yeah.
so freaking useful.
It was nice.
Oh, you can't do that
Especially
if you
if you're
don't pay?
doing shows. No,
Nah.
Oh,
it's
that's
just everything gets bookmarked to all bookmarks. If you pay and get the check mark, you can create as many folders as you want and just put every bookmark into a different folder.
right. Very nice.
So like memes,
think-
entertainment, politics, sports.
The only thing I ever bookmark is all my news, so I'm not all that worried.
Nudes.
Your nudes?
Yeah,
Yes, my nudes. All of my nudes. I bookmark all of my nudes and show them off on my daily stream Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. every single day. Exactly what I do.
It's a way to kill.
Hey,
your
follow
show.
too many. You like a few too many of those cosplays on Twitter too, and you'll get some very interesting things in your feed as well.
Yeah, that was on my feed for a while. And actually, I I followed. When I found out that Brandy Love was like conservative, I like followed her and asked if I could like interview her and talk with her, and she followed me back and actually said that I could. And so now I get the occasional like picture popping up, and I'm like, oh, scroll by that.
Very conservative.
Well, that's like my first year at YouTube when I was doing stuff with Drew, the Supreme Heretic. He had Allura Jensen on, who was apparently a porn star that then became a Christian and became conservative. And so I didn't know who she was beforehand. Yeah. I was on the stream with her, so I was like, oh, I'll just go, follow her on Twitter. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
That violated my Twitter way back when it was first a baby.
Oh man, that is great. Holy shit.
Apparently she was still active in the business at that point.
Oh, not quite such a conversion after all then.
No, the conversion came later, about a year before Nala.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there seems to be a trend.
Well, she didn't get all of the notoriety.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take
She
that
wasn't on
trend
whatever
over what
cast.
we've been.
No,
I'll take
no,
that trend
She
over
was
what we've
on
been getting
Drew's
over the
channel,
last couple
not
of
whatever
decades.
cast.
No, yeah, I'll definitely take that one over the rest of it. So.
You know what I found on Twitter is I've started liking a bunch of game dev people that are like doing art and doing game development and publishing games, and I'm finding so many fucking cool little games that people put on Steam and they kind of disappear almost, but they're like one person working on a game. Like there's this new game coming out, it's called Agent 64, and it looks like GoldenEye. So it's like a spiritual successor to GoldenEye, like original. It looks like just like it with the multiplayer and everything.
Oh, nice.
I love that. So there's like cool places on X that you can kind of get to. You just got to really work at it.
Garrett, you should check out look up Andrew Gilmore. He's he has a game that he made solo dev. He made this game called Slain, which is like a 2D Dark Souls kind of game. It's really cool. Reminds me of like Dark Souls, like Castlevania type thing.
Dude,
but he's
this
developing
looks sick.
Slain 2 right now.
Follow.
But yeah, he's an indie dev. He doesn't talk any politics, something like that. He's always just talking like his game. It's really cool. But I would recommend. What's that?
Is the game on Steam?
Yeah, I would recommend Slain if you enjoy a difficult
it looks
2D
cool
side
as
scroller.
shit.
Yeah, and the music.
Y'all
is
seen
fucking badass.
the Mickey Mouse first person shooter?
Yes, Mouse.
Yes.
I want to play that, dude. I've been following that for a long time. The game looks awesome. And there's also another one that's pardon the term, goon. It's like but you're more like a 1930s like mob goon, and he like goes around and he's fighting like 2D goons, and it looks cool too. But not like that.
Yeah, not
like
that.
that.
Right.
Not like that. Yeah, this game looks sick.
Yeah, it's
like
really
pixel
cool.
art. The pixel art's fucking awesome. That's what like that single A. Like single A, I love single A so much because it's like one or maybe two people can really kind of just take their imagination and run with it. And the tools are so like the bar to get in is so low right now. So then there's that means that the swath of games is massive. There's so many people making awesome little games, and it's like one mechanic done really, really well. So I love what's going on.
And I will say AI has helped a lot in that field. Like if you know how to use it as a tool, is very powerful.
Yeah, dude, for coding, Shags, I'm gonna be honest. I've been letting it do everything. I've been letting it do everything. It's fun. It's fucking so good. It's so good. But I mean, I have been learning some stuff along the way, kind of how to implement stuff, but it's so powerful. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, when you're stuck and you don't know something, then it's like the best thing because you're like, oh, I'm looking to do this, and like you could leverage like what you're trying to do there and the code it gives you, and like kind of double check it against like the documentation.
And you still gotta
and learn to see what it's doing. Like
you still gotta code like debug it. It's so
Yeah.
you got to know how to do that at the very least, of knowing how everything kind of works. So at least I know that part and whatnot. But damn, and I'm kind of using it as if, because I'm more of an artist side of it, So I'm using it as if I imaginary hired an intern coder, and it was like, hey coder, make me this script, and then I get it and I implement it, and then I go, okay, well it's not working quite right. Make another script and try this, and then they'll bring it back. So I'm kind of using it like that, and then we'll like work on it.
Yeah.
Shags, I got to show you what I've been working on.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
I went to the page for Slain. Yeah. Turns out I already own it.
You already have it.
Somehow I got it, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's hard.
Cool.
Oh, I know how I got it, because this is the same dude that did Volferis. So
Yes.
I probably got it in a pack with Volferis.
Yep.
The rock and roll shooter game.
Yep. He did both the Valfaris games. Yep. And then
Okay, that's how I would have gotten it then, and I probably didn't even know it was part of a combo
bundle.
pack.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett, didn't you guys play Nuclear Nightmare for a little bit?
Nuclear Nightmare.
It's
I
the
don't
one
know
that's
if
like
I
the
did.
Thing. It takes place like in a
I
frozen
no, I
tundra.
didn't. I suggested it, and I wasn't able to play that week, and we played like 1 week only, and it was the one I was gone. I was like, damn it,
That's
that looks
one
cool.
of those one developer games.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Unfortunately, he's been in jail for a little while, so he
Oh,
hasn't
shit,
been
what?
updating it.
Why?
I think he got. I think it was DUI related or
Oh
something. but
no,
yeah, we're waiting on him to get out of jail so he can start updating
That's
the game
sad.
again.
that's
Wow.
He's the only developer, so it's like, well, game's on pause.
yeah. Speaking of that, you know what game I fucking got drawn into and couldn't get out for a while? Schedule One. One person making a game, and it's just like this weird cozy game about making and selling weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of the
It's so
like there's
fun.
horse ingredients. I just don't even
Yeah.
understand. Freaking, it's hilarious though.
It's
I
really
think
funny.
I saw somebody playing it.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
named
gameplay of
I made an awesome strain, had like 3 ingredients in it. It was super high quality. It was like glowing blue. So I was like, okay, I got to name this Nazgul. I named it Nazgul. It was awesome. And then I made
what's
Super
this-
Nazgul, then Crystal Nazgul, because you can do like meth, and then you can go to do crystal meth.
What, Garrett? What game was this again? I have to look this up.
Schedule
right now.
one. Schedule One.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense that it's
Yeah.
called Schedule One. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, because you and me, you know that.
Yeah, you'd be down. Yeah, that's like common nerd
That's right up our alley.
RPG.
It is.
Well,
Hey, I
what's
do dabs
funny
for
about
money
that
on
is
streams.
like people are making games now that are other people's careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my daughters have been playing this stupid game where they just stock shelves in a supermarket.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's
That's
like
What
you
the
could
fuck?
you could just get a job, but like Schedule One, like I went to high school with all the guys who developed the Charlotte's Web oil stuff.
Oh no shit! Did you really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, they
Dude,
were
I
all
love those
they're all
fucking
real
guys.
good friends of mine, the Stanley brothers.
That's fucking awesome.
Went to all their weddings, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so basically Schedule One is
Rest
doing
in
their
peace, Charlotte.
actual career.
Yeah. There you
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
There you go.
I got into some of the mobile fucking weed growing games and weed simulators and shit when I was doing cannabis full time. Like I was like, this is exactly what I want. I want to go out. I want to go buy a farm out in the country and just grow my own stuff and
It just
manufacture
boils
all my own
down-
things.
The whole game is just a management game. You're just managing
Yeah.
growing crops. Like that's really what it is, So they just put like a funny twist to it, and it's a
Yeah,
silly
they
game.
just added
So
weed to
Takes
it.
me back to my graphing calculator days when we played. Drug
Yeah,
Wars
there's
or
like
whatever it
trading
was.
card game simulators. There's like
Yeah.
like shops. You know, you run
that's
the
like
shops
one
or
of the
whatever.
biggest, the absolute biggest genres on Steam are management games. It's like simulator games,
Dude.
management games. Like those are huge.
Farming Simulator 25 beat Dragon Age Veilguard. Farming
Right?
Simulator
Yeah.
had like 125,000 people playing it, while Veilguard couldn't break like 60 on Steam. And it was, yeah.
Well,
People
we're on
yearn
what,
to
the,
farm.
the eighth. We're on the 8th iteration of like Goat Simulator now. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe there had been
Well, that's
25
more like
versions
Tony
of
Hawk.
Farming Simulator.
Goat Simulator is like Tony Hawk, but with a goat.
Is it?
Basically what it
Yeah.
is,
That's so
yeah.
fucking awesome.
You're running around a
That's
little
so
city
fucking
and doing weird, stupid tricks and licking stuff, and Jesse, you'll
Speaking
be
of
into
licking,
it.
actually,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go. Licking
I am
stuff.
so here. Dude, Goat Simulator looked funny as hell. I remember hearing about that game.
Yeah, my kids
It's
are playing the
hilarious.
shit out of it.
Dude, yeah. It's like Plants vs. Zombies. That was one my kids got really into. They loved Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh man, yeah, there was
Yeah.
a month, freaking years ago. The original Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh yeah, you get sucked right
Oh,
into that
yeah.
game and not
Yeah.
come back out.
Oh, yeah. I wasted quite a few hours on that game, too. It was a lot of fun. It's true. It's true, Soul Assassin. I just want a simple life. Just sit out in the middle of my field, smelling my cannabis as it grows and blooms. Like, this is not much, grow some
You know,
food.
it's the
Think
last
Garrett wants
thing.
to dig a hole.
I would love to dig a hole. We should put these
Garrett
two
wants to
things
dig a hole.
together, and we could plant some trees, some plants.
Garrett
you know
digs
what
the
I'm saying?
hole, you
I
fill
like-
the hole.
There you go.
Are we filling holes again?
Well, I am good.
Yeah,
at,
we're filling
I am
holes.
good at filling holes. I am good at filling holes. So
And then we can anticipate the lick
The
of dinner.
Oh.
Of dinner.
of dinner. Cannabis infused dinner regiment. It'll be great. The CBD will calm all the kids down. It'll be wonderful.
All right, gentlemen. I think
On
we're
that
calling it
note,
right
We're
there.
just,
on
we're
that
just
note.
ending on drugging your kids. Huh?
Garrett and I have officially decided we're moving out in the middle of nowhere and opening
Yes.
a pot farm. That's
Yes.
what Garrett and I have officially
And
decided.
filling holes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna fill our
And
holes.
drugging
and-
the children.
Yeah.
All the holes. All the holes. Hey, CBD is non-psychoactive. It doesn't fuck with their head. That's what Charlotte's Web was meant for. It was meant for like a fucking 6-year-old with damn grand mal seizures. She had like freaking 10 of them a day.
I thought it was
So,
a book
yeah.
about
No, it
death.
was more like 1,000 a day. But
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, I think they got her down to like 10 a month or some crazy shit like that.
yep,
Doing that stuff.
almost eliminated them.
Yep, almost eliminated him. Rest in peace, Charlotte. Appreciate you, darling. Shags, did you want to shut this show down or something? I don't know. I wasn't. We don't really pay
We
attention
lost,
to you since
yeah,
you're a
we got-
horrible host. So
It's a you know, I want you to do your
Shags
thing.
quit
Justin.
We're in the
streaming 2
last.
weeks
Yeah, we're in
ago.
the last. Yeah, we're in the last days of your show. So it's like
right, he's what do they call it? Short timing. He's short timing.
Short
right
timer.
Sundowning.
now. Yeah.
Quiet quitting.
quiet. Yeah, exactly.
Quiet quitting, yeah.
Quiet quitting.
Oh,
This is how I'm going to run my show. Everyone knows everything. We know Jesse's going to be doing 30 shows between now and next week, so make sure you go check out all of them. Bible study on
Hey, I just
Sunday.
crossed 2K. Come sub to my new channel. I just crossed 2K. Come on now.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm just kidding, Shags. Go ahead. Continue on. You were doing a great job.
What?
I said continue on. You were doing a great job.
Oh,
What are you
yeah.
doing? Host.
I was going to scream into the microphone, but make sure you go sub to everyone here tonight. Everyone here has been amazing. We're on the last. We have 2 more episodes next week and the week after, and then we're shutting it down. For those who don't know, by moving on, I'm moving to Hawaii and moving my family out there. Come the end of this month, and I just have a lot to do, and the time difference is going to be too much. It'll be conflicting with my work schedule, so I won't be able to continue the show. But eventually, once I get settled, we'll figure something out. I'll figure something out and continue on some level. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll have someone. Maybe Flawed will join us next week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be
I don't
nice.
know. That motherfucker got a job, and I never talked to him again. What the hell?
That's what it
He moved
seems
out of
like.
Texas. He
It's
was like,
I've
"Fuck
never
you
seen-
guys."
I see
I'm
Mo
leaving.
streaming,
What?
but
He
I
moved
don't
out
ever
of
see
Texas.
him
Flawed
streaming.
moved out of Texas.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's in
He
Florida now.
Florida.
No shit.
That
I didn't hear about
bastard.
all that.
Yep.
Bastard doesn't ever come hang out. I had no idea.
I know.
Soul Assassin, if you play your cards right, we might get a phase 3. Now, if something comes back, we're probably going to be retiring the midweek hump show in name, and then if something comes back, it'll be something different.
The
But
Saturday morning lick.
Saturday morning work.
Giggity. I'll join that.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week. Does anyone have anything like ultra special that they do want to plug before we go? Is there something coming up?
Just your mom.
Wow.
Just make sure
And I was
everybody
getting
knows.
ready to,
Damn.
I was getting ready to say Christ is King, and then he was like, "Oh, it's your mom." Oh, okay. Here we go.
My
can say that
Sunday
next
show
to
has
save
moved
us.
from Sunday morning to Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Mountain. So
My Doctor
only
Who
been
show is
1
officially back on Sunday nights.
Right on. Okay. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Second to last show. Be there. Be square. Love you. See ya.
Bye.
cheers.
Bible study 2 p.m.
I like to put stuff online.